Sunday Live. It's been a minute. How is everybody? Appreciate everybody that's already been in the chat, asked some questions. I see you guys. I'll say hello to everybody in just a minute. Hope your week was good. We used to do these Sunday Lives all the time, and if you're listening on a replay, let me know in the comment section. But we've had to take a hiatus a little bit. But I had some time tonight, and I got some things in my mind. But more importantly, I want to hear from the community, you guys. Like, what's going on with y'all? It hasn't been a struggle. How has the summer been for you so far? We're basically a month and almost a half in the summer. We're halfway point, almost halfway point of the summertime. So, how is it out there for you guys? You know, I'll most of you that if you're here and you're here already or you're watching, you know how I feel about certain things, words that we use, emotions that we feel when it's gig related, what we can do, what we can't do, our experiences, what is tied to that, and what we can do to not have a bad one. But tonight, I want to hear from you guys. I plan on leaving or putting the StreamYard link up if somebody wants to come up and tell me how the summer's been, why you're struggling. Somebody wants to tell me maybe I'm missing something here. I know my experience might be unique from the norm, but it doesn't mean it can't be your norm. Also, I'll give a little bit of recap of this week, what I got coming up in the week we just had, the week that we got coming up. Maybe we'll touch on some gig news here and there. I don't know how long we'll be live tonight, but I appreciate everybody for coming. And hit the thumbs up. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you can go ahead and live comment, put some comments up. We do that regularly. And if you're not a subscriber, all you got to do, I think, is be a subscriber for 5 minutes, hit the subscribe button. Then you can chat in the chat. There's a lot of really good people, educated people that have been doing this a lot longer than me. So if you're a new person, this is the channel to get some really good information. We challenge each other here as well. We don't hand out pacifiers. We don't pat each other on the back and say, it's going to be okay, because it might not be okay. You might need to hear a hard truth, and we do some of that here. We challenge one another. We try to inspire and motivate through actual results versus actual failure. We all have failed. And let's get right into the topic. I'll say hi to everybody in just a second as the people start rolling in. Struggle. Tonight's topic, tonight's video, the struggle stream. Are DoorDash drivers choosing to fail? Question mark. Delivery driver live. If we are failing on the on-demand apps, if you're failing in the catering game, if you're failing as an Instacart shopper, Ship shopper, if you're failing as a medical courier, if you're failing doing rideshare, who bears the brunt of the responsibility? Now, the companies themselves do hold a place here. They hold a level of responsibility when it comes to certain things. We know that they steal. We know that they lie, cheat, manipulate. We know that they put programs in place to make you feel a certain way. We know that they sometimes oversaturate markets. We know that they lie. We know they want to make sure the shareholders are actually making the money. I think you guys can all hear me. I didn't even do a mic check. Because somebody give me a thumbs up before I start rambling. Y'all know these monologues get a little, they're freestyle, but they get a little long-winded sometimes. So if I can get a thumbs up in the chat, that would be absolutely amazing. We probably should be good because otherwise somebody would have said something. So we know the companies hold responsibility. But, and I've been saying this for a while now. Appreciate that, Ceci. Thank you so much. Shout out to Ceci in the stream there. We can hold the companies responsible, but at what point do we not say, okay, what's my role in this? What am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Many of you guys have been doing this longer than me, and you're still in it. If you're still doing it, you have to have some kind of success. You're not failing. You can't be struggling that much. If you're still doing this, and you've been doing it 5 years plus, 8 or 10 years plus, something is keeping you engaged in the gig economy. Freedom, flexibility, paycheck. You have to be doing okay if you're continuing to use your car, make that decision to use your car, your time, your resources, take away time from your family, working upwards of 60, 70 hours a week if you're full-time. You have to be doing okay. I can't think that somebody would struggle and willingly stay struggling. It's something you don't have to do. I think we're smarter than that. I think a lot of new people come here, and most of the people that do gig work do it for a short amount of time. 10 hours a week. We all know the stats, right? But a lot of people leave when they're struggling because they don't know what they don't know yet. They think they need to take every order on DoorDash or Instacart. or Uber. They think they need to keep the AR up. They think I don't have to do this. I can just do this. They think they have to do more than they have to. And then that leaves them frustrated because they're going $2 here, $4 for 10 miles. Oh my God, I got to do this 100-item shop and pay for $18. Oh my God, it took me 2 hours. And then they're frustrated because they just made $9 an hour. Not realizing you don't have to do that. Not realizing the power of the unassigned, the cancel. Not realizing the power of the decline button. Because a lot of people come to this work, they come in a time of desperation and need, they fail and they leave. And hey, personal responsibility, it's up to them. But you do not have to struggle in this. Where is our or your responsibility within the gig economy? The struggle stream. If you're struggling, I want to hear from you. I would love if somebody would be transparent, candid, open and honest, vulnerable maybe is the best word, and come up tonight and say, dude, Pedro, I am struggling. I've tried this, that. I've tried what this person said, this, and I'm just not able to make it happen. I would love to hear that person's side, that person's lived experience in the gig economy, because we've all been there. I've had weeks or months where it was like, man, this sucks. I've questioned myself. Should I continue to do it? And then there comes like that fork in the road. There comes the moment, a light bulb, an epiphany, whatever you want to call it. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm emotional right now. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. Maybe I need to look at my market and the time. What did I do last week that was wrong? What decisions did I make that were not good? What apps am I currently trying to onboard? Or am I just saying DoorDash and Uber is it? Or Instacart is the only one I got? And that's kind of what I'm left with. When you limit your opportunities, your frustration and the struggle is going to seem more imminent and real. I said hi to everybody in the stream. Appreciate y'all for being here. How many people we got? 45 in the building. Appreciate y'all. Hit that thumbs up. I see Mufasa in the house. PPP. I said Nomadic is in the house. Hermoso. Hermo. I can't remember. I'm Hermo. I'm horrible at reading. Sorry. I probably badgered that name. Off the grid. North. What up? Antoine. What up, bro? A-Rod fan 221. Iconic. What up? DoorDash driver mama. Hey, Pedro. And fellow gig workers. What up, DoorDash driver mama? Good to see you. Anthony, what up? BPD hustler. I do mainly Spark and use DoorDash and Uber Eats as filler. Summer is fine except the heat waves. The heat can be a struggle, that is for sure. Makes you question if you even want to stay out, right? I see Bob in the house. Frank, Ms. T, Nomadic. All right. I kind of gave him 61 with the $2. Thank you. Where can I buy those Pedro Sucks shirts? That's hilarious. I'm gonna put this on the stream. Anybody that leaves a super chat, I put it up on the stream. Appreciate that. Thanks for the $2. So this is the question we have tonight. I'm gonna like that comment because that is hilarious. That person saw my short from earlier. If we're struggling, who bears the brunt of the responsibility? Is it the gig apps? Column A. Is it the consumers for not tipping? Column B, or is it column C? Is it you and I? Now, most would say, I think most nuanced individuals will say it's kind of a balance, Pedro. The company has responsibility for what they do or don't do. I agree with that. Consumers, good ones, should be leaving tips. And when they leave tips, we make more money. Period. Full stop. When customers tip and they tip well, that helps you and I. When they don't, it's a struggle. Struggle stream, struggle bus. When customers don't tip, if everybody in your marketplace tomorrow decided not to tip, you'd have a rough day. The worst day ever. If everything was just base pay, none of us would be able to sustain. It'd be impossible to do it. 60% of what gig workers make comes from tips. So if you take if you're left with 40%, you're not able to pay your bills. Regardless of the app. Okay, none of them are going to pay enough. So customers hold some level of responsibility. At least, that's how I look at it. But it's very small. Okay? And in us, I think between you and I, the few of you that are here, we hold the brunt of the responsibility for our decisions and our outcomes in life and in the gig economy. I believe that. Nobody's going to come and save you. We're independent contractors. We like the freedom and flexibility. That's why most of us stay. But we can't say that, or I'm independent, but then expect X, Y, and Z. The X, Y, and Z can't come from somebody else. It has to come from you and I. The change in mindset and behavior and the actionable things that you can change for yourself in your marketplace, and it will be different market to market, What you have as an opportunity is different than me, and vice versa. The time of days that you work, seasonally things are different. Weather could be different in Florida versus Seattle or Boston, Massachusetts. Very different kinds of weather, seasonal things, different sizes of marketplace, demographics, lower income communities, higher income communities. That will make a difference sometimes. So those things can be different. Your market can be different, but you know your marketplace. Part of it being independent contractor, free thinker, hustler, whatever you want to call yourself, a contractor, a go-getter, whether it's part-time or full-time, that's what's the most important. What you know about your marketplace, the market knowledge, is A1. That's top billing, top importance. And the less you know about your market, the less research you do, the less money you're going to make. Knowledge is power. The more you educate yourself, the more well-read you are, you're going to have more information about the world around you. The more that you know about your marketplace, what apps are available, times a day, this and that, what people are doing, what consumers want to be done for them, which is the top thing. Because an app like Instacart could vary. In Boston, Massachusetts, Instacart is banging. It's one of the best markets around. In parts of California, Instacart banging. Drivers making 2K plus a week. They're working 7 days, 6, 7 days, but there are marketplaces where consumers value their time based on infrastructure. I don't have cars or this, that. I got money. I got disposable income. I want my Instacart Costco's done for me. That will change city to city. Other places, the on-demand apps are more busy. Other places, it's medical courier. Other markets, like parts of Florida, Chicago, and St. Louis, catering is really big. Whereas you might not have that opportunity, but you might have a different one that I don't have here, that Boston doesn't have, that Florida doesn't have, that Chicago does not have. There are gig drivers out there in a lot of major metros. They got e-bikes, scooters, virtually no insurance cost on those, no gas costs, very minimal. You got to just charge those things up. Okay. Very short mileage, so trips are, they're constantly busy. Limited maybe opportunities and size of orders they can deliver, but they're turning and burning. And some of those guys and gals make a lot of money, more than you and I. So having the market research is A1 top tier of what you should be doing to make a difference and not struggle. Because we should not be valuing struggle content. We should not be championing, man, you had a bad day. I want to learn more from that person. Absolutely not. We learn from those people what not to do, but not what to do. Complaining, whining, doing the same thing over and expecting a different result gets you nowhere. All right, let's put some comments up on the screen. I'm for diamond shopping. Ooh, you back on? I thought you didn't do Instacart. Who else you got? Yeah, but those e-bikes are seasonal, also depending on it. Yeah, absolutely. E-bikes definitely seasonal, but I see some of them still doing their thing in the snow. You know, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But definitely right. Dashing with Yosef, what up? I agree, Pedro. Spend the time and get to know your market. It's the top thing. You know, your mindset can go any marketplace, but having the time and the effort to do market research, knowing what's afforded to you in your marketplace, and what consumers are valuing, what apps, and all this information's out there. What apps are the most downloaded in your marketplace, meaning consumers have it on their phone, meaning they're probably going to use it. How many consumer accounts are in St. Louis? You can find that number. How many people have this? How many companies utilize Roadie or Spark? How many companies order from EasyCater, city to city? How many merchants are on the EasyCater website as an approved merchant? Do you have 50 or do you have 2,000? That will make a big difference in the opportunities and or money you will make. Market research is number one. Mindset, market research. You could do anything with those two things. All right, who else we got up in here? Yeah, I started Instacart. Love that. I love that because I think the last time I was live, I feel like you had started it. I saw you on Hustle CLEs a few months back, and I think you said you did not like it. You didn't like shopping, right? But this is called adapting, people. We use Ceci as an example here. And I know she doesn't mind it. Somebody doesn't like shopping. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. To each his own. But sometimes we don't know what we're missing until we try it, and we try it on for a little while and we see. Right? All right, let's see. And it's a lot of nonsense on Instacart. A lot of nonsense on Instacart. I still hate shopping. You can hate it, but if it's paying the bills, you know what I'm saying? I'm a mechanic. Da, 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 da. I can fix cars. I think gig work is my calling. Ooh, okay. I can fix cars. I think gig work. Gig work. Listen, there's gig work opportunities in being a mechanic. Many mobile mechanics. A lot of them. Okay, Instacart went like 90% down in pay over 3 years. Oh man, I mean it's bad, and I think what's got worse is they expect you to do more for the same amount of money, and if you have to do more, it's going to take you longer. So if you got to do triple shops now versus a single or a double, it's probably going to take you longer, and you're grabbing more items for the same dollar amount that you were a couple of years ago. It's bad. Base pay's gone down. Suggested tips on all these apps have gone down. Well, we can't change those things. So on this channel, we talk about what can I change? What can I control? In the controllables, what can I control? I managed restaurants for most of my adult life. You have on a P&L, you have controllables, non-controllables. I did not own the building, so part of my non-controllables were insurance, rent, utilities, okay, certain things like that. I can't control that as a GM of an establishment. I can't control my labor, my food cost, my H&R dispense, my supply cost. I can control those type of things. My vendor costs that I'm using, who my purveyors, who am I using to get this, my meats, who am I using to get my dry goods? Is it Ed Don or is it this local sessions company? Ed Don's cheaper. Should I go that route? Those plates are $120 for a case. These plates are 110. You see, these are the things I can control. As gig workers, we can do the same thing. What do you can control? You can control where you get gas. You can control what mechanic you use. You can control if you do your own oil changes and tire rotations and battery changes. You can control some of those types of costs. You can't control what DoorDash sends you to your phone sometimes. You can't control the base pay all the time. You can decline it, and sometimes the base pay will go up and it might come back to you. But overwhelmingly, 99.9% of the time, you can't control that stuff. You can control the customer service you give, the equipment that you have, how you navigate within the apps, your ratings on the apps. You can control most of that, not all the time. When you focus on what you can control, the struggle doesn't become as much of a struggle. I promise you that. When you focus more on the things you can't control, you will continue to struggle. Appreciate the 58 in the building. Hit that thumbs up. Midwest Panther. I don't mind shopping. I like Instacart. Okay. I have EV, no, but it ain't even worth driving. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Let me ask a couple questions. Well, actually, let me put I'm gonna put the link up in this a little bit as more people get up in here. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. Okay, this week, pretty good week. We obviously were out of town last week. 4th of July, we were in Bel Air, Michigan, on Lake Bel Air. Got back Monday. No, I'm sorry. Got back Sunday, late Sunday night. Car was supposed to be ready Monday. I had dropped it off Wednesday. I had to get an emissions and safety inspection because the plates are up in July. I said, I'll rent a car, take it to my shop. I need those 2 inspection pieces of paper in order to get the new tags. And then I had a few other things I wanted to get fixed that weren't inspection related or emissions related, but I wanted to get them done. So I utilized the time, right? Car wasn't ready yet. They were waiting on a part. So I didn't get it until Tuesday. So I didn't work Monday, lost out on some money. I didn't work Tuesday because I had to drop an order because I wasn't probably going to be able to get the car till, let's say, 12 o'clock by his estimation. So I couldn't do any catering. So I lost like $400 of things I had to drop, accepted orders. So that sucked. So didn't work Tuesday. So I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I worked 3 days this week and had a good week. Each day was good. Each day was good. So very blessed, and I won't call it lucky, but I share that with you because it was a good week. 3 days. I didn't do any catering yesterday. Didn't do any catering today. I saw one opportunity I could have done yesterday, kind of too far. Money was decent, but I was like, nah, it's Saturday. I'm taking the day off. I only worked 3 days this week. This coming up week, we work in 5 days. Got to get back to that normal check, back to that money, you know. So that was kind of my week at a glance. Not, not too bad. Pedro isn't on DoorDash. Haven't been on DoorDash in, God, when was that? I made a second account with my information, but then I wound up deactivating that one. God, was that like 7 months ago? I want to say 6 or 7 months ago. I don't know. Joseph, I wish I can control. Let me see that question from you real quick. Hold on one second. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Pedro, do you have the new DoorDash point system? No, we did not. I know some markets do, Florida and other ones. I talked to Gig 101, and he says it's all about points and not about how many orders you take. I wish that was in all 50 states. Yeah. I don't have it, but I know it's about like your on-time rating, keeping the cancellation good. The AR isn't as heavily weighted, so you can be a platinum driver. I think that's what they're calling it now, right? You can be platinum and you don't have to have that 70% AR or whatever. So it's something that they kind of rolled out. Your customer rating comes into play, various things like that. So I've heard it could be good for some. I don't do DoorDash anymore. No hate to anybody that is. You got to do whatever you got to do. I just don't do it. I found different ways to make more money and do less deliveries overall. And this has been working out for me. I saw a super chat in here from somebody. Hold on. Appreciate that. Let's see. Nick says, fellow gig workers here and looking for a better car. Do you have? I know you have recommendation. Larger vehicles over smaller ones. Please. P.S. My main app is Spark. Okay. So thanks for the $5. Looking for recommendations on cars. Toyota Sienna is good. I have a GMC Acadia. It's been really great to me. But any kind of Toyota minivan, pretty solid. Honda CRVs usually do pretty good. If you guys got some recommendations for Nick here, please give him a few. I think having a bigger vehicle pays dividends, especially on Spark. You can register it as a larger vehicle, SUV van, and you're going to see bigger orders sometimes, better opportunities. Even on the catering apps, it works that way. On Uber Eats, it works that way. DoorDash, I don't think so as much, but catering definitely too. You'll see bigger subtotals, larger orders. Usually they come with larger tips. So I think having a bigger vehicle is beneficial. If you're on demand and you're just doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, I think having some kind of Toyota Prius and something small makes more sense. Better on gas. You don't need a lot of room to deliver a few bags. But if you're looking to open up like your gig apps into larger scale accounts, different types of opportunities, I think having some kind of minivan, SUV, truck with a bed liner or something like that, I think that's smart. That's what I do. It works for me. Nissan Rogue, yeah, I've never had a Nissan. My sister had one for a long time. Never had a Nissan. Never had a Nissan. Nissans are, yeah, I mean, maybe that works for some. Never had one. So people seem to love Nissan Rogue. Yeah, never had one of those. Okay. So struggle stream. I can share the StreamYard link if you guys want. Let me know in the chat if somebody wants to come up and kind of tell me how is it going, what are you struggling with, what's going on. Maybe you think I'm wrong. Maybe you think it's not realistic, the pictures that I paint. Maybe you have some advice for somebody that's struggling. Maybe you were struggling last year and now this year's been better for you. How is the summer going? Are you feeling the summer slowdown? I don't think summer slowdown is a real thing. I get a lot of hate for that. People think, well, obviously, Pedro, it's slower. We have to stop thinking about the gig economy as just DoorDash and Uber Eats and Instacart. On demand is slower for summer in most markets, and there's reasons for that. We all know the reasons. But the gig economy is big and vast, and there's a lot of opportunities. And when you open up your applications on your phone and you onboard and you do research, when the summer comes, there should be no slowdown. It should not be a thing. It should be non-existent. For the real ones that take this serious, whether you're part-time or full-time, summer slowdown is not a real thing. If it's slow where you're at, it means you did not prepare for it. Let me spin it a different way. When you're in high school, college, if you're a lawyer trying to pass the bar exam or a Series 7 test or something serious, a test that you know is coming up, your teacher, your professor, your mom and dad, whatever, your coach told you about this practice that you had. It was going to be really hard. You knew it was coming, i.e., comparison. We knew the summer was coming. We knew some of the apps might slow down or this might happen. So we know it's going to happen, right? We know it's a thing. Hear me out. We know the test is coming. My failure to prepare for the test is not the teacher's fault. It's not my classmates' fault. It's not my mom and dad's fault. It's on me. If I did not prepare, if I didn't come ready and prepared, my result, the grade that I get, I have to wear that. If I get a 60% on that exam, I did not prepare myself. Fact or fiction? We can't then say, oh my God, I hate this exam week. It's finals week sucks. Okay, yeah, it sucks, but we know it's coming. It doesn't have to suck. That's my point. Everybody else will tell you it's summer slowdown. I can't make any money. I made all these videos. It sucks. 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 Throwing all this shit at the wall. It sucks. This is the worst ever. But they do the same apps the same way. We knew it was coming. That's why I think it's not a real. It's something that we tell ourselves to make us feel better about the failure that's imminent, that's coming because we did not prepare. It's much easier to blame the teacher. They didn't prepare me. It's much easier to blame the coach for you not making the team. Oh, he has it against me. Da, da, da. Sometimes those things are true. Sometimes we just didn't try hard enough. We didn't work out hard enough in the summer. We didn't prepare for the exam. We prioritized other things versus the exam, versus the effort of making the team and being a starter. It's easier to blame our parents for this or for that. It's easier to do that. Summer slowdown is real if you allow it to be. So who's had a slow summer? Let's talk about it. Who wants the link? Here we go. Summer slowdown is a myth. I'll just say the things that people are afraid to say. Ceci, she ain't afraid to say it. She always speaks her mind, right? I'll say the things that we need to hear. I'll say what we need to hear. We all need to hear it. And I've been wrong more than I've been right in life. But you have to, in order to get to a point where you can be right, you have to be wrong first. Sometimes you have to take some bumps and learn some things and shut up and listen. And sometimes listen and or debate with people and go into it like you might be wrong. Go into it as if I'm wrong and they're right. And I'm going to listen. I'm going to shut up and listen. Because summer slowdown is a myth. It's what you make it. Exam week, finals week, it can be hard. Sure, summer slowdown can be a thing, but it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a thing. The experience that you're having right now in the gig economy as an independent, that's the key word there, independent, is your experience. It's what you've built for yourself. On this channel, we talk about building and molding things for you, cultivating the experience you want to have with apps A through Z, whatever they are for you. And you pick and choose the apps throughout your year, they're going to make the best money. And I believe over the course of time, you multiply that, actions, and you'll be okay. Here we go, another one there. Just have to stop relying on one app, run 3+ and you'll be good. Yeah, absolutely run 3+. I think 3+ is kind of the minimum for most of us. It's where we should be. You know what I mean? On any given day, I mean, yeah, I can do 3 apps, 4 apps, make money from 3 or 4 on any given day. Okay, let's see. So who wants the link? Who wants to talk about the summer slowdown? Who's experiencing it? Let's do a little Mythbusters tonight. I'll just share the link right now. Who's having a bad experience? Who's not making it? Let's talk about it. Uncle Pedro's here. You want to pick my brain? Maybe I want to pick your brain. Come up on the live stream. I see a lot of people talking about failure, but not willing to talk about how they are successful. When people talk about how they're successful at something, it seems like the people that aren't snicker at it. They cough at it. They're like, nah, that can't be real. That's got to be a lie. Instead of just listening and taking the advice and then actually making more money. Let me put the link up, see who wants to come up. Yeah, he don't want to talk about it. Those cowards. They're always welcome here, but they never show up because they're cowards. They're called keyboard warriors. They'll never come up random. and when they do, they get embarrassed because it's the IQ level is pretty low with those individuals. All right, let's do this real quick. I think it's this and this. No, it's there. We go. I'm gonna boop, and I'm gonna pin that for you guys. And struggle stream. Who's struggling? Let's hear about it. Who's having success? Let's hear about it. Come up on the panel. It's been a while. Open panel. Anybody can come up. What up, Roy? What up, Dreamcast? What up, Ryan? Nebraska with the $10. Appreciate that, man. Let me pin this comment and then I'm gonna read it. I'll leave it up on the screen for everybody to read. Nebraska, how you doing, man? How's the summer been? I hope you and the fam are well. Always a pleasure to see you, man. You late. Where you been? How you been? How you been? All right, let me pin this link for any and all that want to come up and talk about what we got going on tonight. Or maybe there's a different topic that you have. Maybe something more important in the gig world that is pertinent to what you got going on. I'd love to hear about it. All right, let me pin this real quick. Let me heart that. I'm going to read that comment in just 1 second. Can I pin it? Pin. So if you want to join the show, the StreamYard link is pinned at the top of the live chat. All you got to do is be a subscriber. You can see the live chat, you can type, and you can join the show. Destin Brack says, summer slowdown is real. More drivers out here taking longer. I see right now my best app, but DoorDash pretty much dead of my 4. Yeah, it can, summer slowdown is real. More drivers out here. So the saturation is what Nebraska's talking about. More drivers, less opportunity. So what do we do to prepare for that? So Nebraska's like, well, DoorDash is dead, so I got to do more Instacart. So he has that application on his device to pivot to. So one app can be slow, but it doesn't mean the other one is as impacted. Easier to get on DoorDash. So all the new drivers or the part-timers or school teachers are going to go to that app because they got it already. Maybe not as easy to get on Instacart. So now Nebraska's doing Instacart or Brody or Spark or whatever the apps are. So now Nebraska knowing, oh man, summer 2026, a little slow on DoorDash for me. Huh, I'm dashing Nebraska. I need to be dashing. What do I do for summer 2027? Do I try these catering apps right now? Maybe if I onboard now, I can get on next summer so that I could do some larger payouts to where I'm not as impacted. Is it this app? Is it that app? Is it this opportunity? Those are the things that we should be thinking about right now so that next year we can say, I don't know about the summer slowdown because now I'm not doing as much DoorDash because I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Because X, Y, and Z, not as impacted on summer slowdown. So then Nebraska in 2027 says, summer slowdown? Not as impacted on that right now because I set myself up for the finals week, for the exam. I knew it was coming, and I prepared myself for battle. I love Roadie. Ooh, Roadie. I like the pharmacy ones, and occasional, you'll get a Walmart or a Home Depot. I can't rely on Roadie. On a good week, maybe $100 on a good week with Roadie. On an average week, $30, $40. But yeah, it is what it is. It's slow for me, but that's just because I'm in a slow market. Okay, so what is the pivot? What do we do for next summer? How do we prepare for that summer exam? I like that. We'll call it summer exam. You know the exam's coming in 2027 if you're still going to be here, whether it's part-time or full-time. What do we do now to prepare for the summer exam? StreamYard link is open for anybody that wants to come on. Otherwise, I can hear myself talk. I got no problem. Sunday nights best on DoorDash, says Lisa. Yeah, I was never a Sunday night driver. I've done a few, but I was either doing the lives or I did a lot of weekends off. I hear Sunday is good for Instacart and Spark. And Sunday is a day where a lot of people are planning groceries for the next week. So maybe there's some shopping pays. They might be looking for a family meal to end the week. Sunday can be a day where people are spending money. And when people are spending money in your marketplace, that means you're able to make money. Never stop signing up. Facts. I made like 800 one week. It's just a filler out. 800? Ooh, on Roadie? What did you deliver? A baby? They doing baby deliveries now? That's crazy. Curry, there you go. I tried Curry. Didn't love my experience. I got like what they call like self-deactivated. I can't even get in the app, but I haven't tried to get back on. Not deactivated, but like they do that when it's like an inactivity when there's no activity for months at a time, or maybe it's 6 months, they just like your account's active, but it's not active. You know, it's like on but not on. I don't know how to explain it, but those that are on Curry or were on Curry know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, I don't know. Curry just wasn't for me. I had a few bad orders. I was like, this is in St. Louis, the mileage was just crazy, and it's like, oh my god. I mean, you're basically asked to do more miles than some of the caterings I do for half the money. So why would I do that? I got $100 catering tomorrow. It's going to be like 20 combined miles, all said and done, for $100. It's going to take less than an hour. I ain't getting that on Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that just about every day now on Expedite or the other ones. Tractor Supply, that's what's up. Yeah, football games are always good. Prepare equals get a W-2 and enjoy life again. Okay, this is an interesting comment. Let's talk about this. Prepare equals get a W-2 and enjoy life again. I think for the majority of the gig community, we have a W-2. That's just a fact. Most people that have the gig apps are part-time and they have some kind of W-2. Or they had it and they're going back to it. So I don't disagree with this comment. I would suggest having another stream of income. And for most of us, that's going to be a W-2 or some kind of passive income. But to be realistic, yeah, W-2 hybrid model with this on the side to supplement. That's the way to go. Not going to argue that. That's not how I do it, but I think that's how a lot of successful individuals do it. But enjoy life again. I would have to say I'm enjoying life now more than ever. I work less hours per week than ever before. I worked in restaurants, and I'm making good money. So for me, not having to be on a schedule, work every holiday, like for me, enjoy life with a W-2, that's not always accurate for everybody. Now, I do think it offers some protections. It offers a level of stability that the gig economy doesn't afford everybody. But I can make the same amount of money every month on YouTube, every week in the gig economy, and I can budget around that. So I think when you know how to build something and build it the right way, I don't agree with this comment. I understand why you say it, though. What up? I see Nick waiting in the background. I'll bring you up in just a second, brother. Anybody else want to come up and join Nick? Be a couple minutes here. Ryan says, I love watching football, especially with my... Okay. Let's see if I miss any comments here. Trying to put them on the screen, but I'm having a... Here, this is one about catering. Catering in Toledo, Ohio market has been a little slower. Yeah. Okay. Normally, I take mostly expedite orders, but I've been taking quite a few Zifty. Nice. I'm not on Zifty. It's in St. Louis, but they must not be onboarding. And when I go to try to sign up, St. Louis doesn't pop up as one of the markets. So I got to figure out how to get on that app because I've heard some good things. Now, obviously, we got Meals Now. That's a good filler catering app for me. Expedite's number one. Deliver That's number three. If I get something, I'll take it if it's good. But most of my Deliver That's are just absolute garbage. Maybe twice a month I get something that looks decent. So it's kind of Expedite, Meals Now, Deliver That. But Zifty, I want to put that in. I think that'd probably fall in the second slot right after Expedite. So here's some good things about it. And I've met a few drivers that are on Zifty in St. Louis, and they say they like it. I just have not been able to get on yet. But this time next year, I think I will be. That's the goal. All right, let me bring Nick up. I don't want to have him wait. If anybody else wants to come up, the streamer link is pinned up at the top. Let's bring Nick up. Nick, how you doing, man? Ooh, hold up. I think you're muted. Let me unmute you. Oh, unmute your mic.
My bad.
There you go. How's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. But more importantly, what's going on with you? How's the summer been? What do you got going on in your gig world right now?
I mean, like the summer slowdown is kind of a thing, but like I think people overblow it. Like you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're making a little bit less money, but it's not to where it's like, oh my god, like I'm struggling. Like for me, especially, I don't know about other people, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. I think some people do, maybe they over use that as the reasoning behind not having a good week. They just say, well, it's the summer slowdown, right? Not that it's not real. I get why people say it, but they might use that as a crutch a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
For lack of preparedness or lack of awareness of other
Right.
opportunities. Because I think when you kind of like are ready for the summer and you prepare for it, you're probably going to have a different experience versus somebody that just anticipates the slowdown, doesn't do anything different, and it's okay. Maybe you're okay with making $500 a
Because
week.
every
Usually,
time, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt you.
usually maybe you're making $800, and now it's like it's summer, so I'm going to go down to 500. So I'll just kind of
Right.
plan for it. Maybe some people are okay with that. I think a lot of people are. They just budget differently, but it doesn't have to be that way. I don't think.
Yeah, anytime I make less than I normally make, I think, well, my last job, I'm making more than in my last job, so I'm doing great. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a mindset thing. I think it's a mindset thing personally.
yeah, yeah.
Like I
So you
have
kind of look at
more
it like, well, I'm making more than I did when I was doing W-2, so I'm still
right.
winning. Is what you're saying? I'm still
Right.
feeling better about it. Yeah, I think
In
that's a
my
positive
market,
way of looking
like
at it.
I like Walmart Spark is like amazing, but I just hear a lot of complaining about Walmart Spark in my area. Like
Mm.
people are shopping. Like, oh my god, the orders are getting, more work for the same amount of pay and all this. And I'm like, it's a mindset thing, man. You can't. It's terrible, bro. Some people's mindset, I just look at it like shaking my head, like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Now, do you hear other people in your marketplace as you're shopping kind of
Right.
saying that, or these are people that you know as well a little bit, talking in the
Well,
parking
like
lots and
when
things
you're
like
doing
that?
like Walmart shopping like almost every day, you know who's like also doing Walmart Spark. You can just tell. You know what I
Mm.
mean? They got their phone, they're looking up at the shelves and looking at the phone. And then I overhear them conversating with other Spark drivers, and they say, "Oh man, now like Spark is doing way more like 3 orders, like shop and pay. The Instead of 1 order, like majority of my orders are like either like 2 or 3 shopping customers at a
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
That's what I'm noticing. And then
I've
I'm
heard
noticing a
I've heard
lot
that.
more like terrible offers now, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of the apps do it. They start you off a little bit better, and
Mhm.
as time goes along, the pay goes down. They expect you to do more. It's
Yeah.
very, very common,
That's why
unfortunately.
you multi-app, man. Like
That's
if I was relying just on Walmart Spark, I would be miserable. Or
yeah,
DoorDash or anything. Just one app. Oh man, I would be
yeah.
miserable.
You mentioned a second ago about seeing people in your Walmart with the phones, and you can tell who's shopping. That's
Right.
you walk
Hmm.
by and they
And you
got the
see them
phones,
every
they're
day. Like
scanning.
you could see it.
You see the same people. I was in
Hmm.
Walmart actually this morning. I had to pick up a prescription, and I'm not on Spark anymore. But I go in there, and as soon as I walk in, I see two of the guys that I used to see all the time, and they're in the produce area and they're shopping.
Yep.
I'm like, they're still doing their thing. So you recognize people. But what I was gonna say is, it brought up. I saw a TikTok of this customer,
Hmm.
or like a Walmart customer, and she was doing her shopping. And
Hmm.
from her point of view, her vantage point, her perspective was, man, like the video kind of went like this, right? Man, I go into my Walmart now, and it seems like the only people in here, they're not customers, they're Spark people.
Hmm. I would
And
say
she,
like over half. I've seen over half the customers be smart Spark drivers.
yeah, it seems like
Like
in
it's.
the grocery
Hmm.
area, right?
Hmm.
In the grocery area, separate from like where the clothing and the auto and the whatever, which you can
Yep.
still buy those kind of things, but most of the Spark stuff's grocery,
Yep.
right? Yeah, that her
Hmm.
perspective, her POV was like, it's just a whole bunch of
It's
Spark
gonna
people.
get. It's gonna get. I think it's gonna get better. Personally, I think more and more people are gonna use Spark,
I
like
think you're
the
right.
Spark Plus. I think
I think you're right.
eventually it's gonna be like a ridiculous amount of Spark drive. It's just gonna be only Spark drivers in there.
Yeah, I think, and from what I understand, Walmart's obviously the last several years has been pushing
Mhm.
for the Walmart Plus memberships, right? The more
Yep.
members they can have,
Yeah,
the
because
more
like
money.
every time I'm in Walmart, on the announcer whatever thing, it'll say, "Oh, Walmart Spark, come join us." Blah blah blah.
Yep, yep,
Yep.
yep. So they're
Advertising.
pushing. They're pushing for that to where it's going to be WalMarts that are, and I think they got a few already. That's all it is. It's
Hmm.
like they don't really have workers in there. They just have like gig gig employees, right?
Right.
A few workers, but it's
Or
just a
the
Spark.
shopping the actual W2 people shopping for the as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, and
Yep.
then the curbside. Yeah, and it's just going to
Yep.
be a hub of that. and it's going to be not a lot of
I would
registers,
say like
and
it's literally like over half. I would say
yeah,
every time I'm in there, it's yep.
yeah. And I think I think overall, I think in some ways it's bad for like a community sense and
Mhm.
like a workforce sense and a labor force
Right.
sense. But I think in other ways for independent contractors and for people like you and I, it could be good because that probably
Hmm.
means more opportunity. The
Right.
more the more customers that are Walmart Plus members and
Right.
have that and utilize that service, the better for us.
Hmm.
We want more customers than less customers. I
Right.
mean that's so I think overall it could be pretty good still. So
Do you
um,
think it's like a natural like human like laziness is like why we skip? You know, that's why like people have DoorDash and stuff. They don't want to go out and eat. They want the food
yeah.
delivered to them. You know.
I think some people are lazy. I think with the way technology is and our
Hmm.
phones, it's just kind of
Right. We're always on our
naturally
phones.
over the course of the last 20 years, it's just made us more used to like having things readily available. But I
Right.
think more of it has to do with people prioritizing their time, not wanting to shop for themselves because they're busy
Right.
families or they don't have a vehicle or they just don't want to do it.
Hmm.
So they're like, I'll pay $9 a month and I'll throw the shopper a few bucks or not, whatever, and I don't have to go shopping. I
Hmm.
mean, Amazon's great for that. You can get anything on Amazon. I don't have to go. People do clothes shopping now.
I kind of want to tell a story a little
They
bit.
buy shoes. They get their medicine on. So everything has just become convenient. So I don't know if it's as much lazy. I think it's just the way the world has like
You
evolved.
know how like on some of your videos you have a humbling moments?
Yeah.
I kind of had one last week.
So I'm gonna bring yeah. So I want to hear about it. I'm gonna bring Yosef up
Okay.
along with us as you kind of tell this story. Okay.
Okay.
Yosef, what's up, man?
Hey Ben.
Good to see you, man. Go ahead, Nick. Share your story, then we'll get
So I
Yosef's
had a
perspective.
you know how Uber sometimes I have Uber as well, but they'll have the Walmart delivery as Uber. You go to Walmart for Uber and
Mm-hmm.
pick up orders, basically like Spark, but it's through Uber.
Yeah. Yep.
So I had got one and it was like 2 miles for like $16. And with Uber, you don't know what the order is and contains. You know what
Right.
I mean? If you ever
Yep.
done Uber
It
Eats
says
on,
one. It says like one item or something.
yeah, it could be anything, right?
Yep.
And so I park and I see it coming. I was like, oh my god, it's like 3 waters, a fucking oh my god, bunch of drinks. I
Yep.
had to go, and it got worse. It got to I had to deliver to an apartment,
Yep.
second floor, literally no elevator, stairs.
Yep.
So I had to deliver 3 waters and then like some juice and like some big like bulky stuff. And I was mad the whole time. But what I didn't know is that there was a hidden tip. So that whole time I was
Yep.
mad.
Yep.
I didn't know there was a hidden tip, and I ended up getting like $50 for
Oh
two
yeah.
miles.
Uber hides tips on those WalMarts too. I've had it happen. It's crazy, isn't it?
But like the thing is, the humbling is like I was mad at the customer the whole time in my head. You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
I thought they didn't tip as much for all of this stuff, but
Yep.
they end up tipping more.
It's crazy how and I appreciate you sharing that. We're gonna get to
Mm-hmm.
Yosef, and I got somebody else waiting in the background. We're gonna bring him up, but it's
Right.
interesting how more money shifts a lot, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you knew it was paying 50 and you rolled up and you saw the waters, it's like that kind of sucks, but I know I'm getting $50. So
Right.
it lessens the blow. But if
But
you
I
only think
just
you're getting 20, then it's like it's a
mm,
completely different experience from the
right.
beginning.
I just felt so bad after. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
let's hey, I work for DoorDash. I like doing DoorDash.
That's good, man. I like that. I
Oh,
like that. Let me say what's up. Appreciate you joining the show. What's up to
Thanks.
Yosef? Yosef, what do you got on your mind, man? What do you got on your mind tonight,
how
man?
you
Yo,
been, man? I got a couple stories for you because I know you're big on expedite. So I had a expedite, and basically it was supposed to be 3 items, and it was 100 items.
Whoa.
So I called them up. It's happened to me a lot. So I called them up, and I decided to basically tell them I
Oh,
basically told them that, I said, hey, by the way, you lied to me. It was supposed to be 3 items. And I went to this store and they want to argue with me. I ended up getting reimbursed $20 and they took the order away. And I'm just like, they're doing this a lot to me. So I'm just like, what I'm learning is that like when I go to the store, I should be asking for more money because if I'm doing $20 and it's 3 items and it's like 8, 10, 12, like containers to put in a bag, and I have a little Corolla, you know what I mean? I don't think that's right. And then Uber, I have another story. You told this. I will never do what you said, like, pay for someone and then
Yeah.
see if Uber is ever going to reimburse you.
Yeah.
I had horror stories with them. So I went to a In-N-Out. No, it's what's it called? I don't know what it's called, but it's a burger place near me, Five Guys.
Mhm.
And it was at 11:30 at night. It was a $50 order and the store was closed. And I'm just like, you're not going to reimburse me? Like I drove 15 miles for this order. It was $50. And they're like, no, we don't reimburse. But DoorDash, they'll reimburse if the store's closed. So that's another thing I don't like about Uber. And then Uber also, it's like they have this point system I found out. And I know you knew about it. You've been doing it for years. Is that they say that if you have so many points, I had like 800 points, my cancellation's 4%. And I think my AR was like either I told you a 0 or 1. I told you like I decided I don't care about it anymore. I went to a 0 and I'm stuck at a 0 now
Yeah.
on Uber. They told me that we don't know what to do for you. I'm just like when I started Uber, I was told if you have the point system, you'll stay at gold or whatever. And I just think it's funny. I told him I was like, what's the point of the point system then if you guys are not going to respect the point system and do
Yeah.
the right thing? So that's the horror stories I've been having. And I want to ask you another quick question. I know you said that you make your money on catering and you do Uber, but I'm having horror stories with Expedite. I'm not like you, I'm not like Diamond yet, but it's like $10, $20 orders, and then they want to give you like your entire car full for $20. And I'm just
Well,
like, well, how does it say 3 items?
let
But
me ask you a
it,
question. Let me ask you a question. Also, I want to welcome 300
yeah.
caller to the show. 300, we'll
All
get to
right.
you in a second. So, Joseph, when you're looking at Expedite, what I've learned, so those
Okay.
item totals sometimes won't be accurate all the way, depending on merchant. So what I look at is the order subtotal, right? So what the order that it said 3 items? What was the subtotal? Not what they paid you,
250.
but the subtotal.
250. 250.
200. So only $250 worth of food.
Yes, and it was like those containers that you put on a table, and it was like
Yeah, yeah,
over
yeah. Like a
80 of
big
them.
box. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was 80 of them, and the other
That's
time it was 100 of them.
so I almost wonder if that got put in wrong by the merchant or Easy Cater. That
It
seems odd
happens to
to me.
me every time I've done Expedite. So I've only been to Expedite since you told me about it. I know we
Mhm.
talked a little bit through chat on comments. I think I
Yeah.
started at the beginning of January or February, and it's happened to me every time. And I decided to finally call them up and call them out on it. And they're like,
That's
"Oh,
interesting.
we don't understand what's going on." I can send you screenshots of it so you can do a video on it. Like it will say it's this and it's the opposite. And I've taken pictures where I don't understand why you this lady only tipped $10 and you're spending $350 on food,
Yeah.
and then
Yo,
you're gonna,
Joseph, you
So,
should make the complaint. Why don't you make the complaint?
I did, I
That's
did,
what's wrong
I,
with the system.
I did,
People
I did. I
don't
just
really
told you.
make the complaint, and then the system just like forgets about it.
Hey,
You
Pedro, you
really
heard me,
need
right? I did complain.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 I hear you.
to make
Well,
the
Yeah.
complaint.
one more question, Joseph. Are the issues you're having on Expedite, are they from the same restaurant?
No,
Okay.
every restaurant. Like I did like the other day. Well, no, I hurt my knee, so I can't do catering for a while now. But about a month ago, I did a breakfast at a store called
What's up, Nova?
it's anyway. It was a store, and it was like 100 items. It was breakfast. You know what I mean, to this person's house,
Yeah.
and then I delivered it to them, and I didn't know you have to wait, so I didn't want to sit in front of his house and wait. So I got penalized for being too on time to deliver it. But I'm not going to be a stalker, deliver your food at someone's house and then wait 20 minutes. I mean, wait 15 minutes because it was like right around the corner from their house.
Yeah. 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 You're
I have a
And
question. I
you're
have
better off
so,
a,
just you're better off
yeah.
waiting at the restaurant and then leaving later to get there on time at the house.
Well,
You know what I
can
mean?
you
so,
can you explain that to me, Pedro? I tried to email you and we never got back to each other. So what happens is I go to the restaurant and it says you're on. Say it's like 5 minutes until whatever it is, right? And then what happens is
Yo, can you
I
kick this old faggot
hold on,
out? This is
hold on,
retarded.
Pedro. My point is this:
Bro, you're fucking
I wait
retarded,
until
bro. Fuck
one
you,
minute
dude.
until it says you're on
Hey,
time.
you're retarded, Yusuf. You're retarded. Work on yourself, bro. Make
Sorry, user. I ain't doing.
Hey,
I'm not.
you
I'm not doing all that.
can I
I'm
can
not.
I
I don't
ask a
know who that
question
guy
to
is,
him?
but we ain't doing
Yeah.
all that.
What?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
So, Yosef, have you? Okay, do you have anybody else that does expedite in your area?
No,
I was gonna, because I was gonna
no.
ask if they've been experiencing the same thing in your area or
No, I
not.
wish, but I've screenshotted all my stuff and I've taken pictures where every time this happens to me, you know what I mean? Like I haven't done it in about a month, but I was getting discouraged because like it says it's, you know, it's this, but it's not that, you know what I mean? And then like what I do, Pedro, is what you told me to do is I wait until like say 1 minute for pickup and then I'll go to that person's like, you know, doctor's office. So then I still have to wait, you know what I mean, like 10 minutes, or they penalize me
Yeah.
for being on time. And I'm just like, you
Mhm.
know, I think it's ridiculous because, you know what I mean? So that's what I was going to ask you,
Let me
Pedro.
give
Like,
you.
what
Let
to
me. Let
do.
me give you a little tip that I like to use on Expedite.
Okay.
So we know that with Expedite, you have to a mark. Yeah, you have to mark that you arrived, mark that you got the order. Like take pictures. Expedite, even to their own admission, they don't care when you get there, when you take the picture, when you arrive, as long as within the app you do it on the appropriate times,
Okay.
they're okay because they report to Easy Cater. Easy Cater doesn't want us to be too early. They don't want us to be late. So as long as you do it in the app the right way, even if you're there early, as long as you don't mark that you arrived when you actually arrived, they don't care. Like it's
So what,
all
hold on,
about
what you're
how it
saying,
looks
Pedro, if I
in the
have to,
app.
I have to sit there for 15 minutes. I have to sit there for 15 minutes because
No, it
like
sucks.
I,
I get it. I get it.
I've gone to doctor's offices and they want it there at that time earlier.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, what do I do here? Like, I'm SOL. That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you how to fix that. Because
Yeah.
I have a bad on time because of that, but I'm 100% on everything else. But the on time thing, they get me on it all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
okay.
hear you. I hear you.
So
Nick, I
you
think
want
you
me?
had Nick, did you have
Okay.
another question or something?
Have you tried customer support or no?
Yeah, yeah, I have,
What
and they
have
don't
what
really
have
help.
they?
They don't help me. They just said that you should just follow the directions, like Pedro said.
That's weird.
Yeah. Sometimes the
Uh,
support on Expedite it's changed a little bit in the last couple of months,
I
and
have
yeah.
on Spark like accepted an order to say like 30 items or whatever, and then I get to the place to Walmart and all of a sudden it'll have 40 items and it doesn't pay me extra. I was wondering about that as well. If you have any idea what that
I
is.
don't. I don't. I mean, I think sometimes it's worth reaching out to support, at least to
Hmm.
report these things and stuff. And
Hmm.
sometimes you can get more money. I've gotten more money
Right.
from every app except DoorDash. I think that I can remember. Uber Eats will give you more money. Expedite's giving me more money. Like if you report it,
Hmm.
if you get the right support agent, sometimes they'll throw you some extra dollars. It just depends if it's worth your time or not. Sometimes it takes 15, 20 minutes to actually get through to somebody and have a
Hmm.
final result. So sometimes it's not worth it. But I think it's at least worth sending an email or something because some of these issues, the company doesn't know it's an issue unless you say something. So I think we got to speak up.
Can
And
I ask a question, Pedro? Because I did
yeah.
email them and they told me they were going to fix it and they never did. Isn't that interesting? So before I hurt my knee a few months ago, I mean, a few weeks ago, because it was dark out and you literally got to have like headlamps where I live at. I live in the rural area in Pennsylvania, close to Philly.
Mhm.
And they told me that they were going to fix it. I got another order the next day and it was 3 items and it was the same thing. You know what I mean? So I talked to them for half an hour. It was $20. They ended up giving me 40 and it was only for like 2 miles. But I'm just like, can't you guys just fix it? And then they said, we're going to, what is that called when they say, we're going to expedite this order or, to the supervisor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah.
happening to me ever since. And I haven't done it in a while, but like I'll look at something and it will say 3 items and I know it's a lie.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
That's something that I can't
okay.
really
All right.
help with, only because I
All
haven't
right.
had that issue with Expedite to where it's
I
that
got you.
extreme of a difference. You know what I
The
mean?
only
So
thing I can think of is this glitch. It's a glitch. I don't know.
maybe it's something with his
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
either a
know.
glitch or they're doing it on purpose. If they're doing it on purpose, that's lowball. They
I
are
think it is on
lowballing you.
purpose because they lowball you.
That's
They,
crazy to
yeah, they
me.
lowball me all the time on orders. Like I've never gotten the orders that
Because
Pedro
they'll
talks about.
assume, oh well, he already accepted it, so he's gonna do it already. So let's
Well,
give him 20 more items or
yeah,
whatever.
and I will say this: I'm the highest that you can be with Expedite. If you guys think that makes any difference or not, the 4 emeralds, I think it does. But I didn't start that way. Like I took a lot of $30, $40 runs. I would take a
Okay.
$20. Like I was doing a lot of those in the beginning because I wanted to build up to that 100 deliveries.
Okay.
Because once you get to 100, and if you keep the other metrics good, you can get the 4 emeralds. That's where you start seeing orders sooner. So I think Joseph, you're seeing orders later, so you're kind of left with what's left, and so some of what's left doesn't sound like it's great.
I
And
have
that
about
sucks.
20. I have 30 orders on Expedite right now, so I'm close to 50.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. So I want to ask you. So I appreciate you helping me because I get confused because it's just like the biggest order I ever saw was like $30 or $40, and then
yeah,
sometimes like I'll do what you told me to do. I'll accept it, unassign it, and then see if I can get more money for it. And it doesn't happen for me. So
yeah.
I know you said
Well,
that
and
you've
I
done.
think you said you have a smaller vehicle too, right?
Yeah, I have a Corolla
So
hybrid.
so they know that. So a lot of the catering payouts that you see me get, the
Okay.
subtotals are large, because I have a bigger vehicle. So
Okay.
See,
that does play a
that's why I
part.
asked earlier about
Yeah,
the getting. I'm trying to get a larger vehicle. That's
yeah.
why I
Okay.
was asking earlier about that.
Yeah. So catering sometimes limits the opportunities that the companies will send you based on vehicle size. Not all the
Mhm.
time, but sometimes
Uh,
that plays a role, I think, too.
well, that's never happened to me actually. Isn't that interesting, Pedro? Because I know you do this live stream and you do videos. I've never had that. I've had big orders that should be in your SUV. So I don't know what's going on with that. Like I said, like
Yeah.
I'll get like say it's 4 items. It's never 4 items. So you go to like say Cadoba, and it's like it
Yeah.
should be in an SUV. So it's and they
But
never. So that's interesting. And you
but
said
if
it's
Yeah.
they know you have a smaller vehicle and they send you an order that's 3 items and then they change it to a giant order, that makes no sense though,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Because
great. That's great.
they know you have a smaller vehicle, but they're sending you a bigger order. That makes no sense.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'm
yeah.
gonna
So
put
that
this comment
happened.
up from Ceci. Ceci says getting a bigger vehicle opens other opportunity.
Yep.
I could not agree with that more. Now we have to be smart. We don't want to just get a big vehicle because obviously there's money involved, more gas. But if
Mhm.
you play it right and do your own market research, it definitely opens up opportunities of what you could be seeing, and the payouts are just bigger when you're transporting larger subtotals or larger orders over the course of time. Not every order, but over the course of time, you're going to make more money. That's just been my experience, at least with
No,
Most
I
business.
of
appreciate. Hold on, I appreciate that and the chat, but like I guess my area in Philly is different than everyone else's in this country because like I'll have a smaller vehicle, like I told you guys, and I get like
Yeah,
50 miles to the gallon, and I actually have seen orders for $100, but I couldn't take it because you know what I mean. I saw that it's 3 items, but I know it's a lot more. So it's interesting you said that, Pedro. So if I do get to the 100 orders like you told me, I have seen orders for over $100, and it's only 3 items. So I
yeah.
guess my
No,
area is
I
different than
definitely what I would recommend is
okay.
continue to take things that are profitable and make sense for you.
All right.
Okay. When if you can keep your on time, make sure that's important. Get to your 100 deliveries. It might take you another year. Who knows? I don't know, right? But once you get to 100, you're going to see opportunities quicker. You'll start seeing them at 1 p.m., right?
Okay.
So when that happens, you're seeing things before other drivers, and the likelihood of you seeing something good is going to be amplified. So that's my recommendation. Just try to get to 100. Don't take crap that's not making you money, but slowly get to that point, and you'll start seeing bigger payouts.
And another thing, Pedro, because you're explaining this to everyone else, is that like it's not that I'm okay with making $500, like you said, but what I've
Yeah.
learned for the summer slowdown is that I call it the clown down. Is that like basically if you do Uber and DoorDash, you don't do breakfast and lunch during the summer. You literally work. I'll work not at 4. I'll do 5 to 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Less platinum dashers out, and I'm making almost $150.
Yeah.
On it from 5 to 11.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you have to like, change how you do things,
Mindset.
100%. I love that you brought that up because you realized the schedule changes. People's eating habits change. There's more light outside. They eat dinner later. They're out
Yep.
longer. So the money's going to be shifting towards some of that evening, and that's where you're working now. So I think that's a great point.
And the weekend as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people go out and week or spend, or cheat or go out for dinner on weekends.
Another quick question, Pedro. You've been doing this a long time on Sundays. Why do you think Sundays are more slow? Say you don't do catering for Uber and DoorDash, I feel like, than it is from the fall. 'Cause I know you talked about that in the beginning of the spring. It seems like in the fall, Sundays, it's so much traffic. 'Cause I know you live in St. Louis. I've been there. I've been to Missouri, but it seems like there's so much traffic. I guess because people the human beings, we think that it's still light out, but like when it's 4 o'clock in the winter, I feel like it's less traffic and a lot more orders are coming through. I would say September until about May on Sunday. Like I'm busy all day Sunday, but today I worked from 7 a.m. till 1 and I only made like $50.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of platinum dashers out there, like you're teaching your crew. If you're not platinum, that's anything it's good for when it's really slow because that's when they're going to send you garbage in the morning and afternoons. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, I mean, I think fall leading into Christmas time, seasonal, winter is busy because seasonally, if you're in a market where it gets colder or it's rainy or it's snowy, people don't want to go out, so they order. Those, that the fourth quarter of the year, the last 3 months of the year is going to be the busiest for most marketplaces. I just think it's a seasonal thing. Kids are in school, parents are prioritizing having to run these kids here, run these kids there. They're going to order out to eat. They need the groceries delivered. During the summertime, It's a little more loose. It's a little more free. I got more time, maybe, so I'm not ordering as much because I'll do it myself. So, usually the last 3 months of the year are going to be the busiest in the gig economy because consumers are prioritizing their own. They don't want to go out and get it themselves because of the weather, or they're just busy with school and they got the kids and they got this, they got that. So
I appreciate that because I just got an order for $20 for 10 miles and it's 11:30 at night. And that's because there's less platinum dashers out.
Make that money, man.
So why, what I don't understand is with people complain about the summer slowdown is like, when it's hot, why not stay out more? You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that? Because I complain about the summer slowdown. Let me hear you at this.
Like Pedro said, it's about the like when it's at the end of the year, it gets hot. Typically, like why not work way more hours during that time and make a lot of money, and then during the summer you don't have to worry as much. You know what I mean?
I get you're saying, but I want to ask you, Pedro, about that. Is because again, if you understand, is that a lot of these people, like there was a video Mama Gigs posted, Pedro, I was going to send you that there was a lady on TikTok and she was saying this is not my real job, and she was taking $2 orders. So that's what you're dealing with in the summer. These teachers and students and people like like you were saying, Pedro, about these ghetto EBT people. They'll do DoorDash. And they'll take $2 orders because it's not their real job. And I was interested that Mama Gigs sent me that video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they kind of ruined it for
No
some
tip.
of us. Yeah, I think
That's what happens in the summer. It seems like
it does. And Nick is saying, why not work
when it's
more
hot,
when the money is there,
right?
And work less when it's not,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
and then during the summer you can. That's when you can do like research and work more on that rather than.
What do you mean by that? Because like right now, I'm only working from 5 to midnight because in the summer it's more platinum dashers out. That's what I've seen in my area. I don't know about Pedro if you're doing DoorDash, but that's what it seems like in the summertime to me. It feels like there's a lot of
Scott Hall, appreciate the $1.99 twice, brother. Yeah, I think for me, I understand the strategy of working longer days if the money's there because you want to take advantage of the opportunity. For me, I don't want to be in my car too much sometimes because I think that can be a overall negative. You put yourself more at risk, for an accident or this or that, So I still want to stay out about the same amount every day, right? Kind of regardless. If anything, I want to work less, but I understand if somebody needs to stay out longer because the money's just good. They keep feeding my algorithm. I make every order's 10, 15 bucks on DoorDash, and Uber's banging, and Uber will feed you, feed you, feed you. You want to stay when the money's there, but I try to look at it a different way. You know, I try to make the money up in different ways because I've never been somebody that recommends like we need to be driving like a lot of hours or this or that. I think there's got to be a different way to look at it.
I'm not saying like drive a lot of hours all year round. I'm just
Yeah.
saying during when it's hot, the hot months.
Yeah.
And then like when it's summer, maybe a little bit less, you know.
I get that. I get that.
That's interesting.
I
Because
get
I
that.
never thought about that way. I don't do it
Yeah.
that way. You have to like figure out the peak times. Because like what I've learned is that
Because I understand it's mentally frustrating when you're making way less for the same amount of hours than you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I got a couple people in the backstage. I'm gonna bring them up. Ryan
Well-
and Yosef, you guys want to hang, or do you guys want to hang?
Yeah,
hang
yeah.
around
One
a little
last thing, Pedro, I want to ask you about like EBT people. Isn't it interesting? I was telling you last time we talked is that I used to do earn by time. I'll never do it again. I did an EBT. Didn't know it was for like 3 bottles of water, cases of water, no
Mhm.
tip at all, and you know what I mean. It was earned by time, and I'm just like, that's interesting that a lot of these EBT people don't tip. So I
bit?
decided not to do earn by time anymore because of that.
No,
That
I do not recommend earn by time. I'm gonna bring up my buddy Monkey's here. I got
Thank you, Pedro. I hope I can talk to you more, and you can answer my email because I love to send you some screenshots of stuff.
Yeah, definitely send me the email. I would love to see that expedite stuff. If you want to send me that tonight, I'll take a look after the live.
Yeah, it's Joseph. That would be the email. WWE.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and send it to me. All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Pedro.
You too. Monkey, Ryan, welcome to the stream. What do you guys got going on tonight? What's on your mind?
Not much, but to comment on the guy about the EBT, EBT people just can't tip. You're not allowed to actually tip with an EBT. They have to pay with their actual cash. That's why. Most EBT orders.
So you
don't pay.
So you can't leave a tip on the EBT or Snap card, but if you have a DoorDash account, you already have another card probably associated with. So you can leave a tip, but you'd have to leave it on your credit card or your debit card.
But most people using EBT generally don't have a whole lot of money to begin with. Generally.
True. No, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
So they're just not going to. So whether you like it or not, they're not going to tip well.
Yeah. Welcome,
You're
Ryan.
muted, Ryan. You're muted, Ryan.
You're muted. You want to unmute?
Ryan, you're muted. You got to press the unmute button on the microphone.
Yeah, I know I'm muted. So I can't hear you guys on the background though. On the.
Oh no, you're good.
Can you hear me though?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. How's it going? What do you got on your mind tonight?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm gonna back out, and if you can re-add me, man.
Okay, sounds good. All right, there we go. All right, let me do that. Hold on, let me do that. Okay, go ahead and if you can hear us, you can try to come back in. Maybe you'll get a better connection. Shout out to the Necro boys real quick. Hold on, let me say hi to Necro. I saw Scott Hall was up in here. They were clowning on Dino. Some of y'all don't know who Dino is. Dino's a good friend of mine. We like to give him a hard time because he's so angry at the world. I wish Dino nothing but the best, and I mean that with all of my heart. All right, so I want to give a little shout out to those guys. Let me bring Ryan back in. All right, there you go. So is that better?
Yeah, that was weird. Right when Yosef went off, all of a sudden you guys went mute. I don't know.
Oh no, it's all good. It might have been.
I still want my Pedro sucks shirt, bro.
Bro,
that'd be just funny. Why not you buy it? That would be hilarious if you wear that in a video or something.
I'm not spending $42.
I know, but it would be hilarious if you wore that.
I could just make my own for like $20. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a good piece of trolling right there.
It's just kind of funny that people are willing to go that far out of their way to do all that.
Well,
I think you know what's interesting. You know what's interesting though about online, and I think we all do it to some degree, some more than others. The internet is entertainment, right? Whether it's TikTok, Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We come to it for entertainment, and we like to poke fun. We like to do this. It makes us feel good. But if some of the people spent half the amount of time doing something productive versus what they actually do online, right? Like making that merch or making videos, they would actually probably make more money and have more success if they actually put that time and effort into something that was valuable. So I just think that that's kind of interesting. That's my take on it. But
Yeah, seems about right to me.
yeah. It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, and
It's
most
funny.
people procrastinate too. So it's like, yeah.
Sure, a lot. I mean, a lot of people do. But I never understood why people, if you're not having success and everything is not going good and you're blaming everybody else for your problems, that's not the procrastination shouldn't be in your language. It shouldn't be part of your actions. That's when it's time to hustle, change, reformulate, reassimilate, try to do something different. If you're struggling in life, if you're just going to continue to live in that
The
struggle and
yeah.
blame everybody, you're gonna
The
continue.
definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting
Exactly.
different
So
results.
it's kind of sad to me, but I've had to learn that. I was
It
like
all
that
ties to
sometimes.
I think it just ties to mindset, man. Your mindset.
Yeah.
Well, I told people all the time, like at Instacart a few years back, nobody loved it. They're like, look at orders. But the thing I did was I did side hustle. I was riding in my car and doing other things while I was waiting for orders. So, you can work 12 hours, only get a few orders. That's fine if you're still doing stuff in between. Occupy that time with doing other stuff. You don't have to just sit there at your
Multi-app.
phone waiting. Yeah,
That's
well,
multi-apping.
I never did multi-app. That's just too much brain crap. I'm like, nah, I just settle. Plus, what I was doing on the side making more money anyway. It was Instacart was just more fun, dude.
Right.
And it's funny because years ago, everybody hated Instacart. Everybody was against it. Even Pedro, your best friend Steve, other people, and they didn't realize that once you get a certain status and you can see orders before everybody at Costco, especially right when
It's
they
good.
open.
Yep.
Monday through Wednesday in Austin area, that's when the businesses order and big tips, and you just do that for 2 hours. You're good pretty much most of the time. Like for me, it was perfect. But yeah, I just took like $10, $15 one bottle of wine orders, quickly knocked out in the 90 days to get what was it, platinum, diamond, whatever. And after that, then you go for the big ones.
Yeah,
You got
because with Diamond, you can sit at Costco. You'll get orders at 9:50 before they open.
Oh yeah. And you'll see the
tested it.
people there. You'll know the other people that are waiting, and you still got to be quick. But there are a lot more opportunities. Like I did one that was $200 order. It only took about an hour, and it was some waters and all that. But most of the time, these places are businesses that if you have a cart, just go in the elevator, go up to the floor, and that's pretty simple. You got to put in the effort in the beginning, but it also depends on the market. Obviously, St. Louis is a good market. Austin's a good market, so.
I think it's really, really valid points. I got to Diamond with Instacart. I haven't had to do it as much because I've got other things. But when I got to that point, it's a grind to get there, but it can pay off because especially if you're doing the Costco runs or maybe there's a Meijer or a Wegmans or whatever you got in your marketplace. Some of those orders, man, they pay big, and you can keep your mileage low a lot of times because you're not rat racing on all these apps and because you're just doing a $60 or whatever for maybe 10 miles. I mean, who wouldn't do that, right? So,
well, and the other thing too is like you and some other people maybe shy away from the alcohol orders, and I get it because ID and everything. If people are not there, you have to take it back. But they do give you $15. But the thing about that was for me at one of the liquor stores I think you guys have too around the country, like Total Wine or things like that, or Specs. Well, here in Specs, I forgot which one, but they will literally tell you exactly what it is. So there's no searching for it or nothing. You go to the shelf, the aisle number, all that, and it's right there.
Total Wine. It has like Bay 4, aisle 2, or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Like
Spark.
Spark.
Yep.
Like
Spark is funny. I've never done that. I don't know. I've been on a while ago. For DoorDash.
You literally it tells you exactly where it's at.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I used to work for DoorDash, DashMart. When I did actually work for Walmart, and I got some insight on the Spark stuff and all that, and it's the same system that we have. It'll tell you the row, the aisle, the shelf, everything, and it literally it tells you exactly where on the shelf it is.
That's why I hate doing like DoorDash shopping. I hate that. Oh, I hate
Why?
it.
The DoorDash isn't that bad. It just depends on the store, because some stores will show you
Yeah.
the aisle numbers and everything identical to.
But like
to
sometimes it'll be, oh, go to Gary or go to, you know what I mean? It's very subtle and it's not no aisles or anything. Some stores do that, but it's
yeah, but if you know the stores that give you the aisle numbers, then
Mhm.
just do those ones only.
Or yeah, download the apps of the stores, and
Yeah.
they'll do it like here. And sure, you guys heard of HEB? It's a huge thing,
Mhm.
and they have their. You just type in product, tells you what aisle and everything. It's pretty
I mean,
simple, but
I think those are good tips. I think another thing that I would do, and I always recommended, was on downtimes or in between orders or whatever. If I'm at a Costco, or sometimes some Costco's might not let you in, but some do. If I'm at an Aldi, a Walmart, I'm just gonna walk the aisle. I'm gonna walk the store, and you can walk most stores. Maybe it's 10 minutes, and I'm gonna see where some shit's at. What are the end caps look like this week? What's in the middle of the aisle? I'm gonna walk here. What's the produce looking like? So when I get an order, I have kind of a recollection already in my mind of where some of the stuff is. And if you do that a few
Yep.
times a week in each store, you're gonna start to pick up exactly where some of the stuff is.
That's
and
like,
it's gonna make it a lot quicker.
yep. That's why, like on Spark, I've got over like 700 deliveries now, and like I don't even I could just look at the picture and know roughly where it's at.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
without even looking at the number or whatever shelf or anything.
Yeah, and then it takes away us having to like rely on the app. Like, oh,
Right.
it's telling me it's here. Well, if you already know and like, it's just gonna make it a lot quicker.
A lot
And
quicker.
the
Yep.
quicker you can do orders,
Yep.
if you compound that over the course of your week, you might be able to do an extra 2 to 3 orders per week if you're quicker.
Yep.
And that 2 to 3
So-
orders could be $50, $60, $100.
Because like
whatever
the
it is.
estimated time, usually I can get it done within like 10 to 15 minutes less than the estimated time on Walmart Spark. You know how it has estimated time to finish? Whatever?
Yeah.
I usually do like 10 or 15 minutes less than that every
Yeah,
time.
and then the other nice thing about Spark is not all stores, but most stores that have the little flash thing. So if you really can't find the item, just click flash and boom, it'll flash the item right there for you.
Yeah, we have that in a few. We have a local grocery store called Deerberg's, and at Deerberg's they have that, and I didn't know it at first. And I was like, "Why is this green?" I was like, "Oh, that's because that's what I fucking need." And it's like it's flashing at you. I think that's great. I mean, it makes it easy. You know what I mean?
It makes it faster, especially if you can't find it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
100%.
Yep.
All right. So what else you guys got on your mind tonight as I round this show out? Is there anything? How's the summer? Like, you guys got anything looking forward to? Anything?
Well, I was gonna
party
Pedro,
stuff?
can I say it? Okay, I'm on the wait list for roadie, right?
Mhm.
And I've gotten recently they gave me like documents to sign, and I signed them. What does that mean? If I'm still on the wait list, though,
What documents were they?
it was like consent or something. I don't know what it was,
okay.
or like some documents. I don't know.
It
So it
could be
sounds
for
like
pharmacy delivery too, because you have to
it's
sign
not-
some documents for pharmacy.
But I'm still on
Yeah.
the wait list. That's what I was wondering about
Well,
that.
it's not. I would sign those documents. It sounds like you
I already
might-
did. So like
you
I
might be
looked at
getting
it.
off. You might be getting off the wait list pretty soon. It's probably
Oh,
what it
okay.
is. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask because you were on road. You're on roadie, so you know.
Yeah. It could
About
be
the
a good
process.
filler if and you're somebody that does a lot of Spark.
Mhm.
Roadie also has a partnership
Oh,
with
yeah, I do all-
Walmart. So, and you'll do some pharmacy runs from CVS or whatever.
Yeah.
So it could be good. It's a good little filler wrap here and there. So
Okay.
Yeah, but most of the roadie orders from Walmart are like grills or big TVs for the most part. You don't get
They
a lot
are.
of regular groceries.
they definitely are some of the bigger items. But I got a big car, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, because if they're gonna send the curbside, more likely to Uber than they are ever roadie.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I
And
get a
And
lot
if
of
you
Uber.
got Home Depots, every once in a while you get a decent Home Depot. They're not all good, but you
Bro,
might get
when-
something that's pretty good. So
You
Bro,
should try
when the-
Freight too, because Freight's like roadie, just as a different app, and you can get some really really good orders on that too. But it's bigger, heavier stuff, just like roadie.
I wanna, this, Pedro. Like there'd be a certain time of the day, right, where all of a sudden just Uber pops off with Walmart orders, just nonstop, one after the other. I'll send you random. It's random too. Like
But
Uber's so random to me.
Yeah, generally though, based on, it seems like they usually only do it when Spark drivers are constantly the client, or they just get way too busy.
I mean,
Other
I've
than that-
seen great orders though from them, but
sometimes I'll say this:
Yeah.
Walmart, Uber Eats orders when they hit, they can hit really good, and there's hidden tips on there. You just don't know what you're getting. That's the only
Yeah,
thing
that's
that
the
sucks.
problem. That's why I
But
don't. That's why I
it's
need a
becoming
bigger
fun.
vehicle so I can prepare for that in case I get a
Yeah.
big giant order and I
And then
don't
if you,
know.
yeah, and if you end up going to an actual smaller market, they will actually use Uber a lot more than they will in the bigger cities because there's a lot less Spark drivers, so you'll get way more Uber Walmart in smaller markets. At least that's been my experience. And I'm talking like some really tiny markets with like 20,000 people or something like that. They will use a lot more Uber than they will Spark for pickup only.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's, I know a few people that work in a dispatch in some of the Walmarts, but I don't know if it's controlled by the dispatchers within that Walmart.
Okay.
That's what I was wondering, actually.
Okay,
You know what
I
I'm
can
saying?
actually
Like
tell you this.
they could sometimes they can decide to send it to Roadie or through Uber
Okay.
or through the Spark app.
Okay.
And then based on what
No.
platform they send it on, the money's different to where it even costs Walmart less. So I think the dispatchers have a little control.
Well, no. I actually used to work in that actual department. I can honestly tell you that's not true. All the Walmart employees can factually do is request a random driver. It is not on the store level as to what platform it gets sent to.
So who makes that? Where's that being?
So it's random or
decided by? It's random.
So no. What the employees can do specifically is they can't see any drivers online. They don't know who's online. They can't choose what drivers get anything. All they can go onto the system is request a driver and request a random driver. Now, if it's sent to Roadie, Spark, or Uber, that's not any of the employees in the actual store. That's on the actual Spark employees specifically.
Is there a certain like algorithm that determines what order goes to what, or is it?
No, that I don't know because that's not on the employees in the store. That is specifically whatever the actual employees that work for the actual Spark do, not the employees at the store. The employees at the store do have no control over absolutely anything but request a random driver and shop the orders. Even when they send out the orders, the employees don't have control over sending out the orders. It's just an automatic system, whether they're finished picking or not. They just sends them out when the time's supposed to be picked up, whether they like it or not. They
can an associate ban a driver? They can do that.
No.
Right?
No. Associates cannot ban drivers. What they can do is the manager can say, I don't want this person to pick up. So what the associate can do is they can say
they can report drivers, right?
They can report it to Spark, but it's up to Spark to actually do it. The associates themselves can't. So all the manager can say is, don't let this driver pick up. So anytime that driver picks it up, they can cancel that order.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happens is then it just gets randomly sent out, and that same driver can re-pick it up. Because when I worked there's this one driver that I did not like because he physically actually assaulted me. So I kept canceling it, and one day he picked it up 7 different times, and I was like, cancel. And because again, they have zero control over this. It's just the algorithm sends it. Whoever picks it up. You can't say, I want this guy to pick it up.
The algorithm can keep sending it to Ryan, but they do have control on whether or not Ryan's going to make money. Because if they keep canceling it, Ryan ain't making no money.
Was that? Can I ask? Was that like a round robin, or was that a just
we don't
for
know.
you?
We don't know because we have no control. The associates have zero control over that. All they can do is in their system says request a driver, which it just requests some random driver for whatever Spark does. There's zero. The employee just and then there's been people that say, can the associates do favoritism on the drivers? No, they cannot. But when you arrive, they technically can. But that's more the human element. Like they can, right. But the actual policy that Walmart has is they're not supposed to prioritize the actual pickup customers or the actual drivers. They are supposed to get people out in the order that they arrive, whether it's a driver or pickup. That is the official policy.
But they see on their device, because I've seen it, they see the name. And that's when you're saying if they see Pedro, Ryan, and they don't like us, they can cancel it. We know that.
Yeah, but then you can just repick it up. Sure. And most of the time they're only going to see the pickup only. they'd have to look up the specific order to see the shopping orders, because the shopping orders won't generate populate in their actual system.
So I have a question. So you know what ghost orders are, right?
Yeah.
So like, do you think like a ghost order, like it's because like a Walmart associate canceled the order?
No,
and
no,
it's a ghost order, or
no. Sometimes sometimes a driver will actually steal the order and it gets resent out or something, or if the order gets returned, sometimes it'll get sent out. Sometimes the system has it. Sometimes the system will just have. Sometimes Walmart's system will just have a random error, and or sometimes the order's actually been delivered.
I've gotten like just for use that were ghost orders, and that what pissed me off. Like just for use, bro.
Yeah, and sometimes the order's actually been delivered. It's an error through Spark itself, where they're just sending out an order that's already been shopped or picked up.
What I don't understand is why can't we get compensated for that? If we drive to that Walmart to pick up that order, but it's a ghost order and we have to wait, right?
That's on Spark. That has nothing to do with anyone at Walmart.
That's what I'm saying is like compensate for that. I know.
Yeah,
like
DoorDash, you know.
Like I said, I just quit Walmart 30 days ago because I got into a little controversy and stuff online. And
I think I remember you saying something about that.
What'd you do?
No, you don't want to know. Trust me.
Oh, oh boy.
Just like I like to start crap, and I use sarcasm. A lot of people don't understand sarcasm, so But anyway, I told Walmart, I didn't want to put on the impression of that they have an employee that I don't want to represent them in a bad light, whatever.
Yeah.
But I worked in hard lines, and all the Walmart and all the people, the associates, all they do is they get the order, they go shop it real quick, they're on a timer, they pack it up and then put it on the shelf, and that's it. And somebody takes out a car, it's nothing to it. And I don't know if way back on I was on here, and I used to work for DashMart too.
And that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
And DashMart was very similar and all that. But however, even as an associate, I got a lot of say in what to do, and I handled the packages when we did packages, and you could cancel the orders on them, and you had a lot more leeway.
So you had more control at DashMart than you did. Okay.
Yeah, because at Walmart the employees don't even control how it's bundled. They can't see the prices. They can't see the tips. So they can't say, "Oh, I want my best friend to get the higher tip." No, they can't.
Can I ask you? I know this may be a stupid question, but why can't Walmart associates become Spark drivers?
It's just a conflict of interest.
Why is that though?
Because they know
Walmart's
the system
actual
works, and
system.
they can tell their buddies, hey, give me that order. When you actually become an employee, you sign on the agreement on the terms that you can't do that.
Yeah.
So you have to decide which one you want to do.
But here's the thing: it's not a Walmart exclusive thing. If you work for Target, you can't be on shift. If you work for UPS, they'll kick you off roadie. If you work for Amazon, they'll kick you immediately off Amazon Flex.
Yeah.
All these companies have this as a
You're not
policy.
supposed to do Instacart. Like
At the same time,
sense.
but you can go back. Like if you decide to leave Walmart on good terms and stuff, you can go back to Spark. It's not like you're banned from there. And there's a 2-year no compete or anything. It's you just one or the other, not at the same time.
and then on top of that, Walmart employees can't actually pick up Walmart orders through like Uber or through Roadie. The only catch is you're not allowed to pick it up at the store that you specifically work at, because that would be considered conflict of interest.
But
because Walmart specifically owns Spark, that's why the Walmart employees can't do that, because Walmart actually made the Spark app.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just also like when I came on about that.
Does that work for like Sam's as well?
Well,
Sam's and Walmart are the same company.
Same thing. They just don't.
Okay. They just have a different CEO, and they operate like two separate companies, even though they're the same.
There's also like proprietary information and things that and you find out when you work there that you're not supposed to be privy to when you're on the other apps, and things like that. So it's like exploiting the system of something, like DoorDash. When I was working DashMart, I would know how to get the better parcels or the better trips and stuff, and like the one thing that drivers don't know, and we told them, I did because I was nice, and just to keep them away, was that if you were within like 500 feet or so, you weren't going to get an order from DashMart, and they actually prioritized drivers that were farther. They didn't want people camping and parking near us.
Is that a thing for Spark as well?
It was. I don't know if it is anymore.
Okay,
like the whole
you can execute on the actual Spark app, yes, to an extent, because they had such an issue with so many drivers doing it. They had such an issue with so many drivers doing that they specifically at almost any Walmart, if you are at the actual pickup spots and online, it'll immediately kick you off.
You won't get anything, or they sent communication about that when I was on the app. Maybe it was a year and a half ago. I remember getting something in the app talking about like you can't be too close. You have to be outside of this.
Well, I still see like people in the parking lot anyway. So
well, no, you can be in the parking lot. You just can't be right there at the actual pickup spot.
Does that deter? I was just curious because like I know like DoorDash they prioritize like more if you're closer to the restaurant, kind of.
Okay.
To some extent, does Walmart do that or no?
Correct. Almost all the apps do it to a large extent. The people that are closest are generally the ones that are going to get it, but it's not a 100% guarantee because there are other factors, but that is one of the many factors to get an order.
Yeah, because I've gotten orders for like 10 miles away from Walmart.
Yeah.
So
you usually generally, if you get an order from further away, those are generally the ones that people generally don't want. And as people decline it, just like on Instacart, DoorDash, or anything, they start expanding the area. So you're generally most.
You cut out.
Well, he's frozen in time.
He's frozen in time.
Well, I was gonna say.
I think Walmart hacked him, bro.
It's not so much
No, but most of the time you shouldn't get a really good paying order from very far away. Can you? Yes, but on average, those really good paying orders usually generally go to.
So you recommend like just sitting in a parking lot, or
sitting at the parking lot, or sitting somewhere close? Like for me, since I do Spark and Instacart, I just sit actually across the street from the Walmart because that's where I wait for Spark orders and stuff. And trust me, if I'm further away from the stores, I get less Walmarts, less Sparks, and I'm missing some really good pays. The second I get closer, I will start seeing some way better payouts.
You know what's interesting? Some of my best when I was on Spark, and then even now when I'm on Uber, some of my best paying orders is I've gotten when I was at my house.
Yeah,
10 miles away. I got like an $80 Uber Eats, 17 miles away from the Walmart, and it was like a triple, I think, Walmart Uber Eats. It was $80, and I was 17 miles away.
Was it first thing in the morning though?
How far away you are?
Was it like
I've got them early at like 6:37. Yeah. I've also got them in the afternoon.
Yeah, so like DashMart, we had a 30-minute window basically, especially for packages. If there's people 40 minutes away, they call us like, well, I'm on my way. We're like, okay, cool, and we'll extend the 30 minutes to 40 minutes. And we'll wait for them to get it. It's more about the pickup and where the destination distance, not where the driver is.
So if you like at least in my area, like you can go online before 6 o'clock, and most of the orders, all of the orders you get are just for use. By the way, I don't know if that's a thing.
Not in my area anymore.
In my area, it's like literally just before 6 o'clock, like 5:30 between there.
Yeah, but they're not just for use, is all I'm saying. But before 6 o'clock, because in my area they screwed up Spark really badly when they started the tier system, and then bundling the DMV.
Yeah, we don't have that. So.
Oh, trust me. The second you get it, if you don't get. And their tier system is pretty strict, like 60 orders every single month. You got to have a 4.9 customer rating. You got to have like a 98% like items found for shopping. And then they're starting to shut down the pickup onlys at Walmart's too. Like my neighborhood Walmart doesn't do it no more. Various people are now getting notifications in their apps saying you're going to start seeing a lot less of these. And they're starting to bundle fast food with it too now. Because they're doing the fast food. They're doing the fast food that are only inside the Walmarts, though.
Yeah, Subway, McDonald's. That's funny.
Yeah, that.
I will just say too with the employees.
And when they started doing the whole GMD thing, it took what were some amazing orders to now I'm seeing so many that are like 20 miles, 5, 6, 8 stops, and because and instead of paying extra, they're just. We're gonna try to get these taken that people were declining with the people who are tipping.
Do you think it's eventually it's gonna be nothing but shop and pay?
Yes,
and they're gonna get rid of all.
No, because I can already see from just my neighborhood Walmart, because I still know a lot of the employees that still work there. They reduced the hours, and that store overall probably saved over 2/3 amount of the money they're paying on the entire department. So absolutely, and then on top of that. As they switched out shop and deliver only, I guarantee you they're going to be lowering that base pay again to the point where you're going to probably see it as low as like $4, $6, $7.
Yeah,
Just
I've seen below
It's coming.
$10. Yeah, it's already
coming.
here, bro.
I tell you what, though, the employees, my location, I can only speak for, of course, but
Yeah.
here in Texas, minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour. But as an associate, when you start here at
Yeah.
Walmart, it's only $14 an hour for any job, basically. And I was considered
That's
part-time.
crazy.
I was considered part-time, working 40 hours a week. And
That's crazy.
once
Wow.
32 to 40, because they had to skirt the law, you know. But they will probably never go to shop to pay again because they use the Spark. Because if you have $14 employees and these employees are timed and they bust their butt going fast to try to get the stuff because of the metrics, they're doing like 3 or 4 shops an hour at least, and they're only getting paid $14 an hour. And if they're not full time, you don't get, well, you get some benefits depending if you want pay and everything. So in the long run, I think it's still
Do
cheaper
they
for
not
them to
get
have employees
like
than to hire a third party or to pay drivers and do all this crap to actually shop. So it depends on the market, of course, and how many employees you have. But the people I work with, I hate to say it, a lot of them just they they're content with the job, or they're still at home. They don't care, and they're okay to work there 30 hours a week, get their paycheck, and do nothing. And that's why if you're a driver and you like, a lot of times you might be missing stuff and it says out of stock, but it really isn't. And I had to go fix that and say it was in stock after the fact the next day and everything. So it's kind of hard when these people don't care, because that's one of the reasons why I quit. I was busting my ass off doing everything I do, and I'm like, this ain't worth the money. And then all of my other
Yep.
employees that I work with, all their
that's the
job was just to
same.
make sure the
That's the
shelves
same
look
for
nice.
me. W2, bro. Like
I love the. Don't get me wrong. I love the ABT. I was a
I
railroader
don't.
for 17 years, made good money, did all that. Right.
It
The only
just
reason why I quit was because work-life balance. You know, when you exchange your time for money, it depends. Is my time worth this amount of money? And you got to decide what's worth more to you than. So for me, $14 an hour, but I got to be home all the time, and I didn't care about the job. It wasn't the money. It was more about benefits and just doing something, right? But then it got to a point where I was working too much and it wasn't worth my time and the effort I was putting in. So I'm like, I hate to say it, but I went somewhere and I knew what I was doing online was not good. So I was like, a way for me to quit anyway, right? So I was gonna quit anyway, just a force thing. And so like I just focused on my other stuff, and like, you know what, I can pay for my own insurance. It's gonna cost more, but was it worth me to work 32, 40 hours a week at $14 an hour just to get reduced insurance? Nah.
Right.
I'll push
not,
paper trucks, you know what I
not
mean?
worth it. Yeah, that's about what I was
So,
getting paid too at my Walmart, was about that.
well,
And
like,
park drivers get paid better anyway.
yeah,
Even
and
with,
I'm not
even
gonna
with
say
you.
anything. Like, my Walmart was great, and all the people I
Yeah.
work with are great.
Yeah.
The pay for what it's worth, honestly, I hate to say it, but a lot of people that got that pay, that's what about they were worth. Honestly, I hate to say
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why they pay that, because I, I felt like a fool working as hard as I did and doing everything. And of course, they always asked me to do stuff because I would do it. And
Yeah.
then you see over there
yep.
somebody just walking the aisles, just straightening up shelves, and that was basically your whole job was facing.
Yeah.
I forgot what they call it, not facing, but
Zoning.
something else.
It just seems like
Zoning,
Yeah.
zoning.
like in my W2, like that I don't want to say where I work, but
Yes.
it just seemed like the ones who getting paid more are just good at kissing ass. I hate to cuss, but kissing
No,
ass,
that's
bro. And
right, and that's why.
like me, I was working my ass off, but like I was at the bottom, and I never got
But
an opportunity because I didn't want to kiss ass.
But be careful what you ask
And
for too, because a lot of people want to be unionized, right? And
right.
I was a part of a union on the railroad, and we don't get me wrong, because of that, we got paid well, good benefits, all that stuff. But also because of that, nobody cares to do more, try to be better, or get promotions, because it's all based on seniority.
Yeah.
So somebody that's been there 30 years is doing the same job as somebody that's done 2 years, but the 2 year guy's work his ass off, does everything and all that stuff, and that guy's 30 years barely does shit.
Yeah, but most
My
people
bad.
that are part of a union probably aren't going to care because they're getting paid so well.
That's the problem, exactly. So
It doesn't
So they're gonna work
incentivize for
less
improvement.
harder,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not getting rewarded for your work. You're getting
Right.
your time, like your years or whatever, and not even that. Like, well, in every, like I said, every place is different. Every union is different. Not all the same. Even on the railroad, Texas is different than Chicago area where I got hired and I'm from. Go Bears, by the way.
Oh, bear down,
I
baby.
can't
I'm
wait.
ready for
Can't
this
wait.
year, man. I'm ready.
I
I'm
can't
ready.
wait. Right there.
Oh, it's gonna be a good year, man.
But yeah, like up there, when you start out, you get 75% of pay. Over the next 5 years, it goes up 5% to 100%, right? But in Texas, when you start, after probation, you get 100% of pay right away. So you're making this the first year you're working there, you're making the same as somebody who's been there 30 years. So even with unions, that's all messed up. But it's like I with that Walmart example, everybody gets paid $14 an hour, but like you're working your ass off doing all this and you still get only 14. However, you have the opportunity to go up before somebody that's been there 5 years if you play your cards right. If you don't have to kiss ass, just show your worker and all that. And if they're not going to show your worth or you don't think you're going to make it, then it's like, yeah, you don't have to kiss ass. Just say, hey, it's not worth it for me now. You move on, or
What
yeah, they say give an ultimatum.
I bet Pedro like this, but what if they implemented a like not a reward program, but like a metrics,
For what?
for like Walmart as an employee?
They do have a metric system.
They do? Oh, I didn't know that.
The shopping, even for the departments, they do.
I didn't know all these corporations, these major corporations are tracking what employees are doing too.
Yeah, and if you don't meet the metrics, you could get fired.
Found all that. I mean,
but I'm saying as a like reward. You know what I mean? Like the higher.
Yeah, your reward is to keep your job.
Well, like getting paid more. That's what I mean. But
no, because why would they pay? Okay, why would they pay more when people are willing to do the work for the price already?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that because I was just looking for any job, so I applied at Chick-fil-A, right? I had an interview. It's interesting what they do because they actually, you know how places have shift differential, you make more if you work overnight or whatever. Well, they have something kind of similar, but they have it to where if your availability is more, they'll pay you more per hour. And then if you shift your availability, like 6 months down the road, you're not available, they will actually lower your hourly rate. Like that is a variable rate, and it goes up and down. So it could go even down. And it's all based on availability. So if you say you're available 7 days a week, any time of day, you make the max hourly to start.
Yeah. They're paying you based on your value to them.
Yes, exactly.
Like how much can they schedule you? How open is your availability? You're more valuable as an employee if I can schedule you 7 days a week when I'm making my schedule versus only 4. That person that I can schedule whenever is more valuable as an asset, and we're going to pay you an extra 50 cents or $1.
But it's not common that you would actually, it's like $2 difference between the two, but it's not common that you do that. Let's say you hire on, and then all of a sudden, okay, you don't work as much now, we're dropping you down to 16 instead of 18.
Yeah, that's interesting. That
was odd to me.
Usually you don't see that, but
no, you do your availability when you get hired, you get paid a certain, and then maybe the shift differential. But yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, damn, okay, well, I'd be available anyway, but
with Chick-fil-A, they're franchisee models. Yeah. So depending on the ownership group, they probably have, Chick-fil-A's in St. Louis might be different than Texas as far as how they're onboarding and their rules and their pay and things like that. Chick-fil-A. Listen, I go to Chick-fil-A. Me and my daughter go to Chick-fil-A. This is embarrassing. Okay, this is embarrassing. My daughter, it's her favorite place to go. She's been going since she was like 1. They know us. They know my daughter. They know me. I know all the employees that work there. I know the owner at the one on Hampton. We're there probably at minimum twice a week. I spend more money at Chick-fil-A than I do any other restaurant or most other minus grocery stores. I mean, because every time we go there, it's $20, $22 and some change every time. I spend that 2 or 3 times a week. So it's like the amount of points I have there because I have like the little rewards. Oh, yeah. I could probably eat there for a month for free.
It's crazy where I'm at. Like my Chick-fil-A, every time I pass there, it's like full. Like full of people.
I like Chick-fil-A. I've never had a bad experience. They're always clean. The associates are friendly. The training is good.
They have a bunch of employees too. A ridiculous amount of employees.
Even when they're busy, it's fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So, especially if you're doing it like DoorDash, like the Chick-fil-A's are great for DoorDash. They'll prioritize.
What did you say, Ryan?
No, I was kind of salty because if you look around, almost all their employees are young, or there's actually they do encourage a lot of hiring disabled or people with
Yep, I've seen. Yep.
So I'm like, I already knew that I wasn't gonna have a shot because of that. Like if you're in my position me it was more manager or assistant or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, nah. And
But look at this
like you
old
guys
guy coming in here.
said, yeah. No, they probably looked at me like, you just want
You're
to,
not young
be a
enough.
creepy old unk,
Right?
But yeah, we
That's
have
funny.
2 Chick-fil-A's within 2 miles. Like there's one right here, and then there's one a mile and a half down the road. That's how busy
Yeah.
they are here. Like now I'm in San Antonio, and it's like it's just crazy how 2 locations right next to each other, and they're still busy. So
Yeah.
Oh
it's,
yeah, it's always busy. Yep.
I obviously, depending on the franchise or the owner of one Chick-fil-A might not be as good, but the Chick-fil-A I go to, I mean, I'm a big advocate for that place. The owner is his name is Nick. He's an incredible owner, great leader. The staff is great. I mean, I'm telling you, you don't have a bad experience in there. I've never seen anybody have an issue. And I go there 2-3 times a week. I've never seen anything bad happen. I'm there in the breakfast sometimes it's nighttime, lunch. I've never seen an issue. And I'm there. I've probably been to that Chick-fil-A. So my daughter's gonna be 5.
I've been to like
4.
3 or 4. Yeah.
I've been to that place 400 times, and that's not an exaggeration. I've probably been there 4, and that doesn't include the 400 deliveries I've done for them or more. And I've never seen an issue. It's amazing. I mean, that place is it's like one of one. It's nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. It's
a question
weird.
for y'all. What's your take on doing deliveries, especially fast food? If they're outside the zone, or like I'll give you an example. This is my problem I have. I recently moved back to San Antonio for a little bit, and I don't know if Pedro is familiar with it or anybody on chat, but being originally from Chicago area, there's a place that I love called Portillo's.
Oh yeah,
And
baby, Italian
so
beef.
yeah, they started coming down to Texas actually, and now they have a spot in North San Antonio now, a brand new spot in Dallas, of course, Houston, and White Castle's coming soon. But where I live, it's about a 30-minute drive, which sucks, but it's not that far, right? But most delivery apps, a delivery driver place has, their zones, so they don't go out too far. I don't like if for me as a consumer, if I'm willing, or if like I don't care, it's going to be cold, whatever. Why can't I just go on some app or go somewhere and say, hey, I want those beef sandwiches and stuff, or 30 minutes, I'll tip, of course. But like, why is there a limit on the delivery other than maybe the restaurant, of course, for their product being like diminished after 30 minutes? So they would pay, but I used to deliver pizzas, and as long as you have a hot bag and stuff, it's fine. And we live 30 minutes away. So I don't know about that. Like, is it's better shorter, or should they widen it up a little bit to add more opportunity? So
yeah, I think I think smart merchants would have some kind of radius. Like there's a lot of Chinese restaurants out here that have a radius, a zone. Most of it has to do with like they don't want to travel outside of the zone and have somebody away for too long, or it's a food quality issue.
What if it's like the type of food? Like ice cream, right? Yeah. Ice cream, especially. Like if you're delivering like 20 miles away for ice cream, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I think it depends on where you live though too. If you're somewhere in St. Louis, a big city where there's a lot of McDonald's and a lot of this and a lot of options, the radius should be tighter. But if you're somewhere more rural, it should be opened up, because obviously the consumer base is limited on their options, or you're just going to have to drive 20 miles. Yep. It is what it is. So I think those factors kind of play into it.
But you still need to worry about the food safety issue, because if the food, because otherwise people could potentially get really sick from it. So you can't have it out, no matter regardless of the zone, you can't have it out too far, because then you risk of maybe their hot foods gets too cold, and people could start getting sick from that. So they need to have a radius to an extent.
Well, here's my argument against that a little bit, is because same with like Portillo's, you can actually buy the packs and stuff uncooked and to home and shipped to you from the locations. And so for me, it's like, or take and bake pizzas where they make the pizzas, it's wrapped up and then you just put it in your oven, stuff like that. So
that's why
it might be cold, but you can still heat it.
Yeah,
or you can still.
That's why I say the type of food. It depends on the type of food.
Yeah, obviously not ice cream or something.
Like I understand why grocery, probably, especially in my zone, grocery has a larger delivery radius, because
there's just like ice cream at the
I just want my Portillo's, man. Come on.
Portillo, man, Portillo. I
if
get two of them things, man. I get two of
yeah.
the beats, man.
I've never
Yeah,
had
my sister's
Portillo's.
always got it for me for
It's not in
Christmas
my
and held
area.
it down, but man.
My area
Portillo's
hardly has anything though. So
We're finally getting a Chipotle in our area. It would be the first Chipotle in our state.
Oh, you guys are behind like 10 years, man.
Bro, I'm in Mississippi, man. We are away. We're 30 years behind,
Yeah,
bro.
you're behind.
oh yeah,
You're
one of the
Mississippi,
poorest
you're
states.
behind.
Bro, we're
Yeah,
30 years behind everything.
But I
Yeah,
tell you
we
what, that Chipotle is gonna be busy.
I
That Chipotle
know.
it's gonna be busy. Yep.
but at least
It's
you got
in my
legalized
market,
gambling.
and I love it, bro.
At least
love
you got
it.
legalized gambling. Texas, you can only play bingo, man, and lottery.
Well,
God.
Texas does a lot of things right, and they do a lot of
Yeah.
things wrong. There's some things they're too
Yep.
strict on, and then other
Yeah.
things are really loose and it's chill. So this is one of them states. Texas is like one of them.
I love Texas for a lot of reasons, mainly financial and weather and all that. But of course, my heart's Chicago and stuff. It's like if I didn't have to work and stuff, I'd be up in Chicago again. But for work-life balance stuff, man, you can't beat Texas and Florida and stuff. Like, no state income tax. It has a lot. It's about
That's why
6
a lot of people over the last 15 or 20 years has moved to Florida and Texas.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
it's a big,
because of those reasons, financial.
Nevada, Florida, and Texas. Nevada is
Yep.
the easiest one because a lot of Californians, they just have to go across the border.
Yeah,
But,
it's close.
yeah.
Yep.
A lot of people
I mean-
move down here to Mississippi too because we're the lowest cost of living and stuff
Cost
like that.
of living. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're like one of the poorest states, like my state. My state's one of the
Yeah.
poorest too. We got
yeah,
a
Well,
really
that's like for
successful-
me, like the thing is, like that's why I love like the gig economy. I'm making like $1,500 a week, which is like insane in Mississippi. So I'm doing
you
great.
rich? $1,500 a week.
Like in Mississippi, yeah.
You rich?
In the gig economy, yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. But if you're living in like New York, 1,500 is like nothing, bro. Or California or those states. Like,
Yeah.
I feel so bad for those people that are doing DoorDash in like New York or California. I feel so bad for them.
Like I tell every gig person or anybody that it doesn't even matter how much you make, it's how much you spend and how you spend it. Because on the railroad I made $15K a month and I ain't got shit to show for it, and that was in the last 5 years of my career. I gambled a lot, I drank, I traveled, which is nice, but yeah, it's one of those things I really learned. And now what I do for a living is kind of weird. I gamble for a living, kind of. And you start to really learn how money is kind of important when you need a bankroll and pay bills. And
Just
all that.
look at.
Oh yeah, I bet, man.
Yeah.
I mean that's unique. But yeah, I mean money coming in can be extremely tarnished if your money going out is not done correctly. If you don't have a proper budget, and we've all been there on some level or another, if you don't have a proper budget and you ain't got your bills right, however much you got coming in can be insignificant because it could go away like that if you've got too many bills, the wrong kind of car payment, too many subscriptions, too much eating out, too much
DoorDash,
drinking, too much smoking, too much gambling, too much whatever it is, whatever the vices are. If you got too many of them, the 15K is going to go down to nothing, right? So
and I'm a living example of that. The only thing is cool for me is I do have a pension, so railroad retirement, all that was forced, of course. But I tell people that all the time because I put it this way. I went on a very, very popular financial podcast recently, and I got in trouble for stuff I said. But I did that to give myself kind of a
financial podcast. Caleb Hammer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, and so I gave that as a accountability way and say, look, this is how much back taxes I owe from 10 years ago. This is some shit I owe, and I made good money. I did all this, and now I gotta get my crap together and actually put the money to work for me, and just once you get to a point in your life, it's like it doesn't matter how much you make, it matters how you use it. Because the one thing on the railroad I always got was there was so many men that made so much money and they were unhappy. They were always in debt because of truck payments, their wives, their kids, all that stuff. And they look at me and I'm wasting money. I'm doing this, and and it's like I don't have your stuff that you have. And I look back, I'm like, damn, why did I go down this route of like I don't know. It's just one of those things where you can't compare yourself.
Yeah, just look at the people on DoorDash, the customers that don't tip. Most of them don't even deserve to be on DoorDash because they aren't making hardly any money anyway.
Why? If they want food, they want to get food.
Well, they come I
That
ride
is,
my scooter to go get food.
bro.
Shoot.
Make a
If you're
sandwich,
you,
make
if
a
you have
sandwich,
it, if you
make
have
a
an
sandwich,
EBT and you're on DoorDash, come on,
make
bro.
a sandwich, make a sandwich.
Well,
Ramen.
honestly,
Like
that's
those
amazing.
people, like I don't like. Well,
I don't
okay,
blame them for that. I blame
yeah,
the
right,
platform and the government or whoever allows them to use
right.
that and there because
The
uh
main customers that I don't like on DoorDash are the ones who can tip but don't tip.
Why?
You know
What's
what I
wrong with
mean?
them? Why? What's wrong with them not tipping?
It's like you got money, bro. Like,
they're from
No.
and you
Europe.
living in a big ass. I've delivered so many like low tipping. I'm like, bro, you have all this land, all this big houses. Like, come
No,
on,
they
bro.
don't.
Dude,
You
Yeah,
tip
but
me
What would you?
$1 or $2, bro? Really?
would you
they don't
prefer
need the tip
to have
though.
would you prefer to have no tip or a
I
tip
would.
given to
Well,
you
like, but
or a
still,
tip
like,
tip baited?
ooh. That's why I hate Uber, bro. I hate it. I've been tip baited before on Uber. I
Yeah.
hate it. Oh, I hate it.
Instacart used to be bad at that, but they've gotten a lot better since. So they only give about a 2 hour window to even adjust it. So
That's why I get nervous when I do like McDonald's. That's a high paying. I get really nervous for those,
yeah.
like
What do y'all
McDonald's and
think?
Taco
What do
Bell
y'all
and all
think?
those.
Ryan says, Pedro, it's time to do a cooking channel for these broke ass customers.
They
cooking with Pedro. No tip, no trip. Your
they
sandwich
can't cook
orders.
if they
Ready?
don't
Let's
got the
go.
No
utensils
tip.
though.
They
They
don't know
gotta
how to
have an
cook
actual
ramen.
plastic
Come on,
pan.
bro. You don't know how to cook ramen. Come on.
They
Hey,
probably don't even
listen,
have
listen,
a
listen, gentlemen.
microwave.
Yeah, I know. Listen, it's been fun. I'm at the 2 hour mark. I got to get some Z's. I appreciate you guys for coming up. Yosef was up as well earlier.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys for giving you giving us some of your time tonight. We didn't solve the didn't solve the world's gig problems, but at the end of the day, maybe something that you heard tonight was inspired you, motivated you, made you laugh, made you whatever, made you think. That's why we're here. Ryan, Monkey, and Nick, appreciate you guys for coming on tonight. Hope to see you guys back again. I'm gonna close the
Always.
show out, but I wanted to say thanks, guys.
Take it easy.
Love you, Pedro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, all right. All right, let's do that. All right, so appreciate everybody for the super chats. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate you guys talking amongst yourselves in the live chat. Struggle stream. I'm gonna end the show on this note. We've all been there. We all struggle. Ryan just said it best himself. It's a good analogy, I think, in some ways, of life and gig economy. He was making good money on the railroad, but he didn't have financial responsibility. I'm making $15K a month, but I'm doing this, I'm spending this, I'm doing this. And he maybe has some regret on the money he spent. Because the money coming in is only as valuable as how you're managing it going out. Your gig economy experience is only going to be as good. The orders are coming in, money's coming in. What energy are you giving out? What are you doing outwardly? Your actions. How you're spending your money, i.e., analogy, how you're doing in the gig economy. You do not have to struggle. You might have struggled last week, last year, yesterday, today. Today was tough. I hear you. That's reality. You can shift your reality. I don't care what anybody says. I'll debate, I'll box, I'll fight, I'll scrapple. I'll get in a UFC octagon ring with anybody that wants to argue with me and battle with me about that. Your reality can be shifted. Many of you will not shift it. That's okay. That's your choice. Anybody can lose weight. Anybody can get healthier. It's about your diet, your calories in, your calories out. Are you exercising? Most people won't do it, but anybody can. Your gig experience is yours and yours only. The experience you're having is on you, not anybody else. I appreciate and love each and every one of y'all, even the haters, because we all need them. I'll see you guys next live.